note. Shahid Siddiqui, I wasn't sure if you were trying to say you have to go. If you do, please give a last comment, and then I'll open it up for the others. Yes.
Yeah, Barkha, I'll be leaving, but
yes.
My last comment is that it's unfortunate for Bihar that things are not really changing. As previous professor was saying that it's a new narrative, it's a new Bihar which is emerging. I don't see a new Bihar emerging. It still remains it's more polarized than before, from casteism to communalism, but things are not changing on ground. The socio-economic conditions are not improving the way they are improving in some other parts of the country. So Bihar, although this double engine government may come back, but things don't seem to be changing much. And its writing is on the wall. Nitish Kumar will be back because of so many reasons, but I don't think Nitish Kumar is in a position to bring about any socio-economic revolution on ground, or even the central government, the Modi government, is interested in really bringing about that change in Bihar. So Bihar still remains where it is, and that is the unfortunate part. Elections will come and go, but migration will take place, joblessness will take place, youth will not have a better future, women may get their 10,000 rupees, but life will not change for them in the rural areas.
Okay, Shahid Siddiqui, thank you so much for helping us decode the big Bihar election. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning, and if you have just joined us, the NDA, the leads are reflecting a massive landslide gap now between the NDA and its opposition. The NDA leading in 186 seats, the Mahagathbandhan in 55, the Jan Swaraj Party not leading in any seat, the others only in 2. If you look at this individually, the BJP is leading in 82 seats, an improvement over its 74 seats in the last election. The RJD, devastating result for the RJD if these trends hold, and they haven't really shown any sign of improvement in the last 1 hour. The RJD is leading only in 37 seats. It had 75 the last time. It was the single largest party the last time. The JDU, again, Nitish Kumar very much emerging as a man of the moment. He is improving in leads, his tally by 34 seats compared to last time. The Congress is down in 11 seats. It had 19 seats the last time. Right now, it's leading only in 8. The Jan Swaraj Party is not leading in any seat right now. Right? And the BJP, at the moment, it has improved its vote share, it has improved its leads. And of course, for the JDU, it has been an even more dramatic improvement. Ashwini Shahi, आपसे शुरू करती हूँ, and then Dr. Bandana, and then we'll come to our analysts. क्या लग रहा है? बीजेपी के लिए तो अच्छी न्यूज़ है, लेकिन नीतीश कुमार ने भी दिखा दिया कि जो भी लोग उनको राइट ऑफ कर रहे थे, वो बिल्कुल गलत थे, चाहे वो मीडिया में हो, चाहे वो ऑपोजिशन में हो, चाहे वो बीजेपी में ही क्यों ना हो। अश्विनी जी।
बरखा जी, आपको इस रुझानों के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई। और एग्जिट पोल के दिन हम लोग बैठे थे, मैंने कहा एग्जिट पोल इससे बेहतर आएंगे, और वो बिहार की जनता ने दिखा दिया नीतीश जी के ऊपर भरोसा। रही बात नीतीश जी के ऊपर अविश्वास करने की, तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी में किसी ने विश्वास नहीं किया। हम लोग एक होकर चुनाव लड़े। हाँ, विपक्ष ने जरूर उनके स्वास्थ्य और सेहत को लेकर बहुत कुछ कहा, वो दिखाई दिया। मीडिया के लोगों ने जो है वो सब करना शुरू किया, लेकिन और आज भी आप 2 जगह बांटकर हमको वो कर रही है कि नीतीश कुमार जी ये कर रहे हैं, भारतीय जनता पार्टी। हम एक हैं, 5 हम लोग लड़े थे, 5 लोग मिलकर लड़े थे। मैंने उस दिन भी बताया कि हम एक जो है मुट्ठी की तरह बंद हैं, हम एकदम से एकजुट होकर लड़ रहे हैं और इसका बेहतर रिजल्ट आएगा। हम कहीं अलग नहीं हैं। रही बात, अभी देखिए किस तरीके से नैरेटिव फैलाने की बात थी। अभी शाहिद जी जो है बैठे थे, उन्होंने कहा बहुत ये गड़बड़ है, ये नहीं होना चाहिए, ये बिहार में कुछ चेंज नहीं होने जा रहा, बहुत कुछ कहा उन्होंने। मगर बिहार की जनता ने, जिसने 90 का वो दशक देखा है, वो जलालत की जिंदगी वो अब नहीं जीना चाहता है। वो अपने पैरों पर खड़ा होना चाहता है, अब एक खुशहाल बिहार देखना चाहता है। तो नीतीश कुमार जी के बातों में उनको भरोसा है, माननीय मोदी जी के नेतृत्व पर भरोसा है उनको। नहीं, अभी देखिए किस तरीके से, मैंने उस दिन भी जिक्र किया था, शायद आपको याद होगा कि लाठी निकालना शुरू हो गया था लोगों को। लाठी निकालो, कट्टा निकालो, शुरू हो चुका था। जनता बहुत प्रबुद्ध है बिहार की, और बिहार की प्रबुद्ध जनता ने, माताओं ने, बहनों ने सब बता दिया कि क्या करना चाहिए,
पर
कहाँ हमको अस्थायित्व मिलेगा।
आपके
जी,
लिए न्यूज तो बहुत बढ़िया है, मैं मानती हूँ, लेकिन आपने नीतीश जी को इतना लगाव है तो मुख्यमंत्री कैंडिडेट क्यों नहीं घोषित किया?
ये बार बार मीडिया चर्चा कर रही है, मेरे समझ में ये नहीं आ रहा है कि आप लोग सुनना क्या चाहते हैं, कहलवाना क्या चाहते हैं हम
जरा
लोगों से।
कुछ नहीं,
किसी
पूछ रहे हैं,
एक,
बहुत
बरखा
प्यार
जी,
से पूछ रहे हैं बस।
बरखा जी, मेरा हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट है कि आप किसी भी हमारे एक नेता का बयान दिखा दीजिए कि जिसमें कहा गया है नीतीश जी मुख्यमंत्री नहीं होंगे। जरूर उसका प्रावधान बताया गया है कि हाँ, विधायक दल की बैठक होगी, उसमें नेता चुना जाएगा, और ये कहा गया कि नीतीश जी के नेतृत्व में चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं हम। अब इसके अलावा क्या हो सकता है? नीतीश जी कल मुख्यमंत्री थे, आज भी हैं और कल भी रहेंगे।
मैं ये
इसमें
कहना
कहीं कोई
चाहती हूँ,
शंका ही नहीं थी।
ओके अश्विनी जी,
देखिए, एक,
सुनिए ना, सुनिए ना।
बरखा जी बस 30 सेकंड और दे दीजिए।
अच्छा।
अभी देखिए, लोकसभा के चुनाव हुए। लोकसभा के चुनाव होने के बाद कुछ मीडिया के लोग, कुछ विरोधी दल के लोग जो आहत हुए थे हारने से, उन लोगों ने चंद्रबाबू नायडू को भगाया। 6 महीने तक तो भगाते रहे, नीतीश जी को भगाते रहे कि भाजपा से हट जाएंगे, ये गिर जाएगी, बैसाखी की सरकार है। नहीं हुआ, इंटैक्ट रहे हम लोग। अब फिर शुरू हो गया है, नीतीश जी उधर चले जाएंगे, ये हो गया। मतलब भाजपा को किसी तरीके से कमजोर करने के लिए कुछ भी बोल दो। नीतीश जी ने कई बार स्पष्ट किया है कि अब मैं कहीं नहीं जाने वाला हूं, और मैं एनडीए, जो सबसे पुराना गठबंधन है, 25 साल हो गया।
अच्छा
बरखा जी।
अश्विनी जी,
जी,
अश्विनी जी, मैं बस ये अपडेट देना चाहती हूँ that the JDU is currently at the moment is it's a tussle between the BJP and the JDU, who are both partners, who will be the single largest party. Nitish Kumar's party right now is the single largest party in leads. The NDA is standing at 194. At this rate, it could well cross 200. The Mahagathbandhan is down to 46. The BJP is leading in 81 seats, but Nitish Kumar's Janata Dal United is leading in 84 seats. It is an extraordinary performance. We have Imranul Haq of the RJD, but I want to get Dr. Bandana in. Prashant Kishore had famously said to me and others, if Nitish Kumar gets more than 25 seats, I will leave politics. We will assume that was a rhetorical statement. Let's get your response to the fact that the Jan Suraj party so far is showing no seats, no leads in any seat. How disappointed are you? Of course, we need to see the vote share, but right now, no conversion to seats.
नमस्कार।
नमस्कार
अभी जो प्रोफेसर साहब बोल रहे थे
जी।
कि हम लोगों ने, खासकर जनसुराज जहाँ भी गई,
जी
उन्होंने जमीनी स्तर पर काम किया और हम लोग जनता के दिल को जीते। देखिए, बेरोजगारी मुद्दा है, पलायन मुद्दा है, भ्रष्टाचार मुद्दा है, और जिस जंगल राज की दुहाई ये लोग पानी पी पी कर दे रहे थे अभी बीजेपी के लोग, वो जंगल राज आपने थोड़ी दिन मंगल राज देखा होगा इनका कि कैसे दुलार चंद की हत्या हो जाती है। व्यवस्था, ये अराजकता इनको नहीं दिखाई देता है। और आश्चर्य की बात यह है कि बिहार की जनता को भी यह नहीं दिखता है। जब जनता अफीम खाकर सो जाती है तो उसको ना तो शिक्षा का दिखता है, ना बेरोजगारी का दिखता है, ना उनके साथ हो क्या रहा है वह दिखाई देता है, क्योंकि इन्होंने फ्री बीज बांट कर जनता को ऐसा बना दिया है कि तुम कुछ मत करो, घर से मत निकलो, तुम्हें कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है। स्त्रियों को भी 10,000 दिख रहा है, लेकिन उनके बच्चे बेरोजगार है, उनके बच्चे जो आईआईटी से पास आउट है बरखा जी, वो शिक्षक बनने के लिए मजबूर है। वो बिहार जहाँ आईआईटीएन और आईएएस का गढ़ माना जाता था, वहाँ आईएएस का भी इस बार का आप रिजल्ट देखिएगा तो 1 से 20 तक में गुजरात के, मैं किसी प्रदेश का वो नहीं कर रही हूँ, लेकिन गुजरात के बच्चे सबसे ज्यादा है और बिहारियों का जहाँ की सबसे ज्यादा होता था वो सबसे कम है। तो आप शिक्षा की जो इनकी व्यवस्था है बेपटरी फ्री बीज, बच्चों को पैसा दे दो, कन्या उत्थान में ये 50,000 देते हैं, जो भी बीए पास कर जाएगा सबको 50,000 दे दो। क्यों दे दो भाई? आप मेरिटोरियस विद्यार्थी को दीजिए। जेएनयू में जब एडमिशन, मैं जेएनयू से हूँ, जेएनयू में जब एडमिशन होता है तो ऑल इंडिया में सोचिए कि कितनी मेहनत बच्चों को करनी पड़ती है। मेहनत, इन्होंने बिहारियों की उस मेहनत पर डाका डाल दिया। पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है, कॉलेज आने की जरूरत नहीं है, यूनिवर्सिटी आने की जरूरत नहीं है, बस इनके घर तक पैसा पहुंचा दो। और ये इन्हें तब समझ में आएगा बरखा जी, जब 10 साल हो जाएगा और इनके हाथ में कुछ नहीं रहेगा, यूनिवर्सिटीज को बिल्कुल प्राइवेटाइज कर दिया जाएगा, तब इन्हें लगेगा कि हमारे हाथ से, हमारे साथ से क्या चीज छूट गया है। अभी तो हम जो बात पहुंचाने की कोशिश कर रहे थे,
अच्छा ठीक
शायद
है,
वो
मैं आपकी
जी
भावना
जी
समझ सकती हूँ, लेकिन ये जो रिजल्ट्स हैं ये आपकी पार्टी के लिए डिसअपॉइंटिंग ही रहेंगे। आपका मैसेज
जी जी जी, ये
आपने
मैं मान
समझाया।
रही हूँ कि अभी जो रिजल्ट आ रहे हैं, हमारा खाता भी
जी
नहीं खुला है, हो सकता है कि देर
चलिए,
1-2 बजे
लेट्स
के
सी,
बाद हमारा खाता
लेट्स सी,
खुलना शुरू हो जाए।
let's see. Aarti and Nilanjan, and then I'll come to Imranul Haq. Aarti, because we have been burnt by history, we are not calling the election because, let the elections play out fully. But at the moment, for the last 2 hours, nothing in the numbers have moved to show an improvement for the Mahagathbandhan. If anything, it's only gone the other way. Look at the numbers. The Mahagathbandhan together is at 45. That's the RJD by itself was at 75 last time, just for a comparison. And if can I have the strike rate for the opposition parties also on the screen, please? It would be interesting to see. The NDA is at 195 to the Mahagathbandhan's 45, right? If you look at the individual parties, the JDU is leading in 84. Aarti, your reaction?
Oh, it's been quite an exciting election, Barkha. I know that it's too early, and you're right, absolutely, about being burnt by history. So we maybe should hesitate before calling these elections. But Barkha, the way the voter turnout was, Bihar posted a historic voter turnout this time. And over the last 1 year, I have noticed a trend, whether it was Haryana or Maharashtra, where the voter turnout has been 7 to 8% more than the previous election. The incumbent government has won, and won decisively. Maharashtra was a huge sweep. You remember, they wiped the floor with the opposition. The opposition just disappeared from the landscape. So
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if the same thing happens now in Bihar. The other thing is that because, Bihar traditionally has posted very narrow margins between the victor and the runner-up. 500, last time particularly, it was very narrow. 500, 1,000, 700, 2,000. But this time, because the voter turnout is so high, I think the margin of victory will be huge. And I'm told already, the winning candidate, the leading candidate, is ahead by 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 votes in constituency. So I don't see this trend really reversing. It would reverse if you had a difference of 500 or 1,000. But if the trend is just increasing, then I don't see this reversing. And it looks like the NDA is headed to a huge victory. But for me, really, this is all about Nitish Kumar, because he had been written off by everybody, including his partner in the BJP, whatever Ashwini ji may say. I mean, the very fact that they refuse to endorse him as chief minister, whereas in the past they have always declared him as chief minister. The very fact that they did not put up posters with Nitish Kumar's face, I'm talking about the BJP. The very fact that the PM did not hold a single rally with Nitish Kumar. Even in 2024, he held a roadshow in Patna with Nitish Kumar. This time he did not. And you just look at the BJP campaign. It's been very, very interesting because they started off by sidelining Nitish, making him invisible. And then suddenly, as they found that on the ground, Nitish Kumar remains popular, he's got a solid and loyal following, and in fact, questions about his health make people even more sympathetic that they should support him at this stage. The BJP's whole line and attitude changed. Suddenly, Nitish Kumar became visible, and they said that of course Nitish Kumar will be the chief minister after the election. And they started talking about his welfare schemes and the women vote and all that he's done for women. And suddenly Nitish Kumar became the flavor of the elections.
Yeah.
So,
So what do you
it's just
think changed?
incredible how it changed
What do you
along
think
the way.
changed? What do you think changed? Do you think it was the
I
Mahila
think
scheme
the
alone,
mood,
or do you,
I think the mood on the ground. I mean, clearly this man who has been the dominant person in Bihar's politics for 20 years, he has created a caste paradigm. He's crafted this caste paradigm and frozen it, and it remains frozen. Still, that caste paradigm. I mean, Shahid Siddiqui is absolutely right. I don't think things are going to change in Bihar. That caste paradigm remains frozen. Nitish Kumar has a loyal support base amongst EBCs and Mahadalit groups and a section of women, a pretty large section of women, I would say. And wherever he goes, he takes that vote with him, and whoever he allies with will form the government. He proved that in 2015. He proved
but
that in
Aarti,
2020, and he's proving it again now.
I agree, but Nitish Kumar's utterly handsome performance does not explain fully the devastation to the RJD. The RJD, if you now look at the comparison on your screen, is down in 42 seats. It had 74 seats the last time, and it is now in 30, is leading only in 32. The Congress is down in 13 seats. Nilanjan, your thoughts? Nilanjan?
So,
Yeah.
I will be speaking, on the assumption that the present trend becomes the final result. And I have also been peeping, besides the figures that you are showing on the channel, I have also been peeping into the Election Commission website. So my first reactions are that this is essentially a mandate for status quo or pro-incumbency as far as Bihar is concerned. I also see the resurrection of the Tina factor in a big way. That even if people want a change, the Mahagathbandhan did not emerge or did not position itself as a very credible alternative to what is there in Bihar at the moment. I will go into the reasons also. There's also this very important factor of the Nitish factor. Even though at this particular moment the BJP is leading over the JDU as far as the Election Commission data is concerned, and
Yeah.
it might well eventually be.
Let's have the
Yeah,
Election Commission party-wise data on our banner, please, if we
yeah,
can, as Nilanjan talks.
yeah.
Please, can we have it? Yeah, Nilanjan.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Could we please have the Election Commission banner on, please, party-wise, Nilanjan? Go ahead. Yeah, here.
Yeah,
You're right, the BJP, according to the Election Commission, but it's important to say that the EC leads are only available for 239 out of
that's right.
243. The BJP is leading in 82, the JDU in 80, the RJD down to 33, the Congress 5. Nilanjan.
Yeah, I wouldn't be eventually surprised that eventually if the BJP is a few seats ahead of the JDU, I would
Yes.
not at all be surprised. Despite this, I will say that what worked for JDU is that Nitish Kumar was seen as a benign uncle. Somebody who has actually given a lot, and he really he's not done any harm to them, even if he has not been able to do
Yeah.
anything great in the last 10 years. He did definitely work as a very effective chief minister as far as law and order and flyovers in Patna city. Patna city, even if development stops there, people have generally tended to get very happy when they see a few flyovers in Patna. That's a city, where, one side of my family is there. I call myself proudly the son-in-law of Bihar. So I have been visiting Patna over the last decade plus quite regularly. So I've seen the kind of responses. Development in Bihar stops at Patna or a few select highways between Patna and some big cities of Bihar. Rest anywhere else, you try to drive down. I've been telling repeatedly, try to drive down from Gorakhpur to Champaran, two very important and iconic places, one in Uttar Pradesh, one in Bihar. Women, please don't try to go because you'll not find a single toilet from the entire 200 kilometer road. That is the kind of development that is there universally in Bihar. So Nitish Kumar factor, and also another very important fact which comes out from the data of the Election Commission, the vote share. Even today, despite its dismal performance, the RJD will possibly end up as the single largest party in terms of vote share. Which means 22% plus, 22. BJP is also 22% plus. The JDU is down, is about 18% plus at this particular time. Congress is down to single digits. That is what I was seeing. So what happens in terms of electoral arithmetic? The Mahagathbandhan did not work. RJD did its share of the work, but the other alliance partners did not. They completely failed to bring the votes that they were expected to. So these are a few things we will have to also look at, once the election comes, we will have to look at certain factors which became major talking points in the course of the elections. I'm not making any allegations, but I think so we got to take really a look at, I do not think that that has happened sufficiently, but the entire SIR process, the intention, what has been done, needs to be examined and taken a very close look in a much more open-minded manner. I'm not saying that it is something which has been deliberately done to create a voter list which is tilted in favor of one party, that is the ruling party, very early. But yes, we have to see that Haryana, Maharashtra, and then Bihar, three sequential assembly elections after the 2024 electoral setback. There are two stories to it. Either the BJP has got its entire electoral formula, which went completely haywire during the parliament elections, if they have been able to get it completely bang on once again, or then there are other factors that which we need to really examine and study. It's very important because we will be having elections in very important states in early April, May 2026, which is Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, Assam, and Bengal, which are going to be very important and possibly set the tone for the next parliamentary elections.
Okay, if I could please request my producers to give me two slides together. The first, which looks at the comparison of the seats for the NDA, and the second consecutively, which looks at the numbers for the Mahagathbandhan. May I please request for those on the screen? In the meantime, I want Imran ul Haq to come in with his reactions. How disappointed are you? इमरान उल हक. नहीं सर, आपकी आवाज नहीं आती मुझे. Okay, let's move on. Ashwini Shahi, I want you to respond to what Aarti said. कि नीतीश कुमार को मोदी ने उनके साथ जॉइंट रैलीज नहीं की, उनको घोषित नहीं किया गया. ये तो आपको
Now you are getting, ma'am. No.
हाँ, एक मिनट. I'll
Are
come
you
to you now
getting?
after. Hang on, sir. Ashwini Shahi, please respond.
जी, देखिए, मैंने पहले भी कहा कि ये नैरेटिव जो है एकदम बेमानी है, क्योंकि भारतीय जनता पार्टी और जनता दल यूनाइटेड, हम और तेजस्वी जी की चिराग पासवान जी की पार्टी और उपेंद्र कुशवाहा जी, ये पांच दल मिलकर हम चुनाव लड़ रहे थे और सबने अपनी अपनी ड्यूटी अपने अपने तरीके से निभाई. अब कोई ये कहे कि प्रधानमंत्री जी की रैली में नीतीश जी नहीं गए, नीतीश जी की रैली में प्रधानमंत्री जी नहीं गए. हम लोगों ने जो अपने क्षेत्रों में रहकर जिस तरीके से काम किया मजबूती से, कि हम एक भी रहे और अपना काम भी करते रहे, वो आपके स्क्रीन पर ये रुझानों के रूप में दिख रहा है. वरना 70 किलोमीटर जो है दूर न जाकर टेलीफोन से संबोधित करना पड़ रहा है एक युवा व्यक्ति को, और जो बीमार व्यक्ति है वो हेलीकॉप्टर से 3 रैली कर ले रहा है, हेलीकॉप्टर छोड़कर गाड़ियों से 3 रैली कर ले रहा है. तो अंतर ये है, हमने मेहनत की है. अब उसमें कुछ भी जोड़ा जाए कि प्रधानमंत्री जी नहीं गए और वो नहीं गए, ये बेमानी चीजें हैं. जी,
मैं ये कहना चाह रही हूँ, और इमरान उल हक शायद आप इस बात पे आना चाहेंगे. सी वोटर के मुताबिक तेजस्वी यादव ट्रेल कर रहे हैं 3000 वोट से. 3000 वोट से ट्रेल कर रहे हैं स्वयं. इमरान उल हक, अगर आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है तो ये जो रुझान
जी,
है,
आपकी आवाज साफ आ रही है. मेरी आवाज आपको आ रही है, मैम?
जी. इफ आई कैन स्विच टू द आरजेडी स्लाइड. यस, आरजेडी अभी
Yes,
के
ma'am.
रुझानों के मुताबिक, हाँ जी सर, मुझे बोलने दीजिए, इज डाउन इन 44 सीट्स. बोलिए.
देखिए मैम,
तेजस्वी यादव खुद
ये
ट्रेल
तो
कर रहे हैं. जी,
शुरुआती रुझान है और बहुत सारी चीजें करेक्ट होती हैं टाइम के अकॉर्डिंग. मैं कुछ चंद पॉइंट्स पर आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि बिहार की बदहाली 22 साल में इस हद तक हुई है और इस तरह से हमारी महिलाएं, युवा सबकी हालत कमजोर हुई है कि वो धोखा खाने के लिए भी तैयार हैं। इवन कि ये 10,000 की जो रेवड़ी आम भाषा में कहिए, सपोर्ट कहिए, उसको लेने के लिए उनके उनके जो मेल हैं वो जो है माइग्रेशन से बाहर होते हैं मैम। यहाँ इंडस्ट्री नहीं लगती, यहाँ श्रमिक ट्रेन चलती है। ये एक मतलब प्लैंड वे में हमारे बिहार के लोगों को कमजोर और इससे इससे बहुत तकलीफ होती है। जनता का मैंडेट सर आंखों पर, लेकिन इससे बिहार के डेवलपमेंट का आगे का कोई रोड मैप नहीं दिख रहा है मैम। फिर वही 5 किलो अनाज, फिर वही पलायन। जो बेचारे आए हैं उन्होंने वोट दिया है, फिर वो चले जाएंगे। 10,000 के ये 10,000 का जो सपोर्ट है, इसका आगे आप खुद आने वाले दिन में इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग जर्नलिज्म के थ्रू देखेंगे कि किसको क्या मिला, या बाद में क्या नोटिस आती है उनको उस रुपए को लेके रिटर्न करने के लिए आने वाला वक्त बताएगा। अब रही
नहीं,
बात
आप अपनी पार्टी की
लोग,
परफॉर्मेंस की बात, अपनी पार्टी की परफॉर्मेंस की बात
देखिए
करिए ना।
देखिए देखिए तेजस्वी जी की एज के अकॉर्डिंग वो अपने एक लड़ाई में आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। कुछ चंद जिन लोगों ने जो 45 50s में जाके अचीव किया, वो बहुत यंग है और वो और मजबूत और क्लोज जा रहे हैं। यूथ को लेके, उनकी नौकरी को लेके, उनके एजुकेशन को लेके, इंडस्ट्री को लेके उनका जो एजेंडा वो क्लियर है। ठीक है, इस बार अगर जनता, अभी तो शुरुआती रुझान है, लेकिन फिर भी अगर जनता नहीं देगी तो नेक्स्ट टाइम के लिए ये राजनीति कोई रिजल्टेंट वो है नहीं। क्योंकि जिनके पास खोने के लिए बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, वो ज्यादा घबरा के अपनी सारी ताकत एक एक यंग लड़के ने अकेले पूरे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को कवर किया, क्योंकि वो स्टेट लीडर हैं, वो स्टेट के मर्म को मैक्सिमम समझते हैं। यहाँ पूरी नेशनल पार्टी, पूरी ताकत, मशीनरी, पावर, मैं किसी के ऊपर लांछन नहीं लगाता हूं, लेकिन इतनी सारी चीजें अगर वर्क करती हैं तो उसके तरफ अगर कोई रुझान आ जाता है तो इसमें बहुत चौंकने वाली बात नहीं है। बिहार एज ए सिटीजन ऑफ बिहार, मैं ये सोचता हूं कि बिहार के लिए कुछ अच्छा नहीं हुआ। एक एक सीनियर सिटीजन बिहार के जवान कंधों को डिसाइड करने के लिए, जो ऑलरेडी 22 साल में नहीं कर सकता, दुनिया 22 साल में कहां से कहां चले गई। चाइना को देखिए, अमेरिका को देखिए, जिस भी
सर
कंट्रीज को
सर
आप देखना
सर
चाहती हैं मैम।
हम एक लाइव डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं, बट वी हैव टू लुक एट द नंबर्स। आपने सब चीजें बताई, अपनी पार्टी की परफॉर्मेंस के बारे में नहीं बताया। आरती, आई वांट टू ब्रिंग यू इन। आई थिंक
मैं अब
एक,
मैं
हाँ,
मैं एक तो सबसे पहले हम शाम तक इंतजार करेंगे पार्टी का परफॉर्मेंस। जब रिजल्ट में नहीं आया, सिर्फ इससे परफॉर्मेंस अगर आंकने की बात है, तो उसमें तो फिर बीजेपी या एनडीए की को आप बढ़त दे रही हैं और वो मिल चुका है उनको। लेकिन हम वो मैटर, वो मर्म बता रहे हैं। एक लाइन में बरखा जी, क्योंकि आपने, आपका बहुत सीनियर के तौर पर हम लोगों ने देखा है अपने जर्नलिज्म के लाइफ में, सबसे पहले जो हमारी बच्चियां हैं जॉब से सिर्फ इफेक्टेड, सिर्फ बॉयज या यूथ नहीं होते हैं, हमारी बच्चियां भी घर में इफेक्टेड होती हैं। अगर उनको जॉब नहीं मिलती है तो उनका घर सेटल नहीं होता है। तो जो हमारे सोसाइटी का जो बैलेंस है, जो बिहार क्योंकि एक रूरल,
Acha,
एक
Imranul Haqqi,
कल्चरल बैकग्राउंड से आता है जी।
I'm so sorry. I'll have to interrupt you now because we have to go back to the numbers. This is about the elections. I want Aarti to come in. Nilanjan went through a list of issues. Nilanjan, you said, you think the RJD might still emerge as with the highest vote share. Could we have the RJD vote share on our screen or on our banner, please? As we look at that, the point is that vote share will not be of much use if it doesn't convert into seats. Look at the RJD vote share. It was 23.11% in 2020, and it's dropped marginally to 22.77%. But if you look at the seats, there is a swing of 34 seats in the leads right now. 34 seats. That is an extraordinary jolt, right? So I think it is going to be. Aarti, you want to come in there first? Aarti, go ahead.
Yeah, so, Barkha, we must not forget that the 2022 elections were a very unusual election.
The 2020 election. The 2020
2020,
election.
yeah, sorry,
Yes.
the 2020
Yes.
election, which,
Yes.
where the Mahagathbandhan did extraordinarily well and almost won the election, actually.
Yes. Yes.
It was quite extraordinary, that election, because for the first time, we saw NDA partners trying to cut each other down.
Yeah.
We had Chirag Paswan as a loose cannon, canvassing all over Bihar, firing pot shots at JDU. And apparently, the buzz was that he had been set up by the BJP because the BJP wanted to downsize JDU so that they could become the senior partner within that alliance. Ashwini ji won't agree, but the fact is that that is what happened. JDU emerged very poorly in that election. And I think that helped to benefit the Mahagathbandhan alliance substantially, which is why the Mahagathbandhan alliance did so well. The second reason is what Nilanjan said, that, the RJD may be pulling its weight, but its allies are not being able to pull its weight. And, clearly this decision to bring VIP party in a kind of very cynical way to get the Nishad vote did not go down well with the Nishads, who must have stuck with the BJP and the NDA and did not, buy into this new inclusive RJD. And of course, the Congress is always the Achilles heel in any alliance. The Congress was actually had a very tough task this time, because although it was contesting 60 seats, the bulk of those seats, I think some 54 of those seats, they were pitted against the BJP. And the BJP, as you know, is a formidable opponent. It's got manpower, it's got resources, it's got, state machinery, it's got everything on its side. The Congress has nothing, it doesn't even have an organization. So, so clearly in the MGB, the allies did not pull their weight. They were not able to ensure any kind of vote transfer, which is why the seat performance is so poor. And it's going to be a very tough task for the MGB now, going ahead from here.
Exactly. And also this is going to have implications for national politics. I just want to take you through the strike rate. We look at the Mahagathbandhan first. This is C-voter data. The RJD contested 143 seats. It's leading only in 33. The Congress contested 61 seats. It's leading only in 8 seats. If I can just move to the NDA scorecard, the BJP contested 101 seats and it's leading in 83. The JDU contested 101 seats and it's leading in 80. I want to bring in Nilanjan, Professor Ashwini Shahi, and of course our two political guests from the RJD and Jansuraj also after that. Nilanjan, look at the strike rate. And while we are being careful because there is 25 rounds of counting left, we are being told. So we're being very careful. The point is, Aarti, for you specifically, sorry, before Nilanjan comes in, can I have that question on the screen? I was trying to read that out. Barkha, RJD did not do that well in Lok Sabha 2024 and is not doing well this time. So I think Aarti has a point. RJD benefited from the JDU vote spilling over to it because of the BJP tried to cut the JDU in 2020. Just to your point, that was a very unusual election because Chirag Paswan weakened Nitish. Aarti, you want to respond to that before Nilanjan comes in? I'm so sorry, I can't hear Aarti. Now start again, Aarti.
I'm saying Chirag Paswan definitely had a negative impact, on the JDU in that election. He was going all over Bihar targeting, Nitish Kumar. And, it's very interesting, Barkha. This election too, he started off his campaign by taking pot shots about Nitish Kumar, talking about his health and so on. And then if you notice, I think he was told to shut up because he stopped completely. And then when questions arose about whether Nitish Kumar would be the chief minister or not if the NDA won, he said, of course, Nitish Kumar will be our chief minister. So completely, did a
Yes, I'll ask Ashwini Shahi to respond to all your questions on the Nitish Modi chemistry, but let me get Nilanjan to come in first. Meanwhile, some updates. BJP's Maithili Thakur is leading by 7,000 votes. Tejashwi is trailing by 3,000, and JDU's very controversial Anand Singh, imprisoned on charges of murder, is actually leading. Is this number correct? 3,70,000 votes.
37,000.
I'm so sorry. This is too many numbers, staring at numbers getting to me. 37,000 votes. Nilanjan, yes, go ahead. Yes.
No, we were talking about 2020, why the Mahagathbandhan did
Yes.
very well.
Yes.
Elections happened in November 2020. Lockdown was very much fresh in the minds of people. There was a complete, inability of knowing what will happen in future because of COVID. We were right in the middle of COVID, and the Bihar government definitely had not been able to do anything much in terms of providing assistance to those people who walked hundreds of kilometers from various big cities where all these Shramik Express trains, somebody remarked, runs. I thought that was a very good observation, that Bihar does not have industries but has industry special, labor special trains to take out the migrant labor somewhere outside. It's a very good conceptualization of Bihar strategy. So because of that, and I want to repeat once again that the RJD remains firm. The problem with RJD is that it doesn't gain, it doesn't lose. It has a certain consolidated vote bank which it has.
No, but
had
it has.
from
It looks like it's lost majorly. It looks like, if I could go to the RJD, either the
Vote
scorecard
share.
or our own graphic, but vote share is not converting. No, Nilanjan. It would be interesting to see a region-wise spread to see.
Yes,
It would be
as more and
interesting
more
to see
data,
that.
as more and more data comes
पर
in,
आप
we have to
देखिए
see.
ना, आप strike rate देखिए ना, 143 seats contest करके is leading only in 33. It has
No,
lost.
I know, but I still have the feeling that when we actually sit down to analyze, we will possibly get to see that the alliance did not work. They did not bring votes to one another. It was actually as if that RJD was contesting separately, Congress was contesting separately.
By the way, to your point, sorry, I'm interrupting you because more numbers
no.
have come in. To your point, the election commission leads now, all the leads are in. The BJP is now emerging the single largest party.
Yes.
According to the election commission leads, Ashwini ji, आपके लिए ये खबर है, अश्विनी शाही के लिए, हमारे दो अश्विनी है आज. Ashwini Shahi ji ke liye, the BJP is emerging as the single largest party according to the election commission leads. The BJP leading in 85, the JDU in 76, the RJD down to 34, and look at the Congress down to 6. I mean, these are really big figures if the trend continues. Sorry, Nilanjan, I just wanted to point that out. Go ahead, and then Ashwini Shahi right after that, and then Professor Ashwini. Yes.
So what happened is that I think that the Mahagathbandhan parties, each one contested on their own. There was no coordinated effort. I did not see a joint campaign. I did see a lot of noise during the campaign against the SIR process underway in Bihar, but that was,
I mean, the laddus are out at JDU. Whether we are calling the election or not, the laddus are out.
The laddus are called in JDU. I do not know whether it is premature or not. I do not think that the question of leadership is settled. It is quite possible that
you think someone else. You think someone else could be CM?
Well, Maharashtra, we know the track record of the BJP. So let's see. Let's wait. As they say that this is the kahani abhi khatam nahi hui hai.
No, I disagree, Nilanjan.
No. I know that you may.
I also disagree. I don't think Nitish Kumar is an Eknath Shinde. Definitely not an Eknath Shinde. And nor does the BJP have a Devendra Fadnavis equivalent in Bihar. Devendra Fadnavis, remember, I mean, had been chief minister for 5 years, was a blue-eyed boy, or continues to be a blue-eyed boy of the RSS. There is no such figure in Bihar for the BJP. So I don't think the two situations are at all comparable.
Well, okay, I'll take your point.
I think what Nilanjan is saying is, if the BJP is the single largest party, will the BJP try and do a Maharashtra or Madhya Pradesh in Bihar? And you are saying, But I am saying if you look at
Barkha, last time the BJP had almost double the number of seats than as compared to the JDU in 2020.
I think Ashwini
I'm saying.
Shahi should answer this question.
And still they made Nitish Kumar the chief minister.
I agree.
जी जी
I do not think the BJP can rid itself of Nitish Kumar just.
चलिए अश्विनी शाही जी, यहाँ पे सवाल ये है कि अगर बीजेपी सिंगल लार्जेस्ट, मुझे याद है 2020 में भी आपकी सीट ज्यादा थी, फिर भी नीतीश जी बने मुख्यमंत्री, तो वो बात मानते हैं। निरंजन मुखोपाध्याय कहते हैं कि भाई अगर बीजेपी का ये परफॉर्मेंस रहा, 85 सीट्स में आप लोग लीड कर रहे हैं ऑन योर ओन, तो क्यों आप नीतीश कुमार को मुख्यमंत्री बनाएंगे? बीजेपी का सपना होगा कि बिहार का खुद अपना बंदा या बंदी बने मुख्यमंत्री।
देखिए, बहुत लोगों का, हर राजनीतिक दल का सपना होता है। हमारे के साथ चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं तो फिर ये सपना हमको किनारे रखना पड़ता है। हमारा जो नेतृत्व है हम वही करेंगे। और हमने जो चुनाव पीछे अभी जो है आपको जो आरती जी ने जवाब दे दिया कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी जो है बड़ी पार्टी थी पीछे और मुख्यमंत्री बनाया है। लेकिन देखिए, कहने वाली बात नहीं, मोदी विरोधी अभी भी लगे हुए हैं कि भाई इस निराशा में भी आशा की एक किरण खोजते रहो कि भाई हम दूर से दिख रहा है दीपक, उसी के सहारे रात काट देनी है। ऐसा कहीं कुछ नहीं है। जनता ने स्पष्ट बहुमत दिया है और हमें लग रहा है 2/3 बहुमत से हम जो है सरकार बनाने जा रहे हैं। एनडीए के लोग अभी कोई न खोजे। जैसे लोकसभा में मैंने पहले भी कहा कि 6 महीने तक चंद्रबाबू नायडू को भगाते रहे लोग, नीतीश जी को भगाते रहे लोग। ऐसा नहीं होने जा रहा है। 2-3 बातें मुझे कहनी है आपकी इजाजत से। अभी मुखोपाध्याय जी कह रहे थे कि बिहार वो ट्रेनें बुलाई गई, लेबर को वो किया गया। क्या गलत किया गया? आपको किसने रोका था? आप भी बुला लेते, ट्रेन बुक कराते, बुला लेते। उसमें क्या 1000 लोग आए तो सारे भाजपा के वोटर थोड़े ही थे? आपके भी तो हो सकते हैं। छठ पूजा की गई, छठ पूजा में सब लोग आए, तो इसमें कौन सी पीड़ा है भाई? ये पीड़ा दर्शाना क्या कहता है? दूसरी बात कह रहे हैं जो है वहां के लोगों को किस तरीके से, कई चैनलों पर मैं सुबह से चल रहा हूं, 10,000 रुपए दे दिया गया। भाई 10,000 रुपए की स्कीम पहले से चल रही है। 50,000 रुपया महिलाओं को दे दिया गया। अभी वो जनसुराज की नेत्री कह रही थी, पहले से साइकिल और सब कुछ हम देते आ रहे हैं, उन्हीं योजनाओं को हम आगे बढ़ाए हैं। और इन्होंने तो देखिए, हारने की ये हताशा है कि बिहार की प्रबुद्ध जनता को एक प्रबुद्ध दल की नेत्री ने अफीम खाकर सोने का बता दिया। जनता को गाली देना चुनाव हारने के बाद शुरू हो गया इन लोगों का। या अफीम खाकर जेएनयू की है, ये अच्छी बात है। अरे जेएनयू में आप लोग पढ़ते हैं, हम ही लोगों के टैक्स के पैसे पर पढ़ते हैं, कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है। और बिहार में हम काम कर रहे हैं, हम ही लोगों के टैक्स पैसे पे काम कर रहे हैं। भारत में काम हो रहा है टैक्स के पैसे पर। तो बिहार में कहीं भी प्रतिभा की कमी नहीं है।
सरकार चलती है टैक्स के पैसे।
अरे आपकी सरकार नहीं चलती है। आप जेएनयू में आप लोग जो है 25 साल पढ़ती हैं, वो हम ही लोगों के पैसे पर सरकारें। मैं तो मान रहा हूं। आपने कौन सी नई बात बता दी? मैंने कहा हमारी सरकार भी चलती है, चाहे केंद्र की हो चाहे राज्य की हो। नया बात कुछ बताइए ना, तो ज्यादा बेहतर है। आप लोग मेहनत करिए, शुभकामनाएं हैं। नई पार्टी आती है और आम आदमी पार्टी की तरह धाराशायी हो जाती है, धूमकेतु की तरह जो है। अच्छी बात है, धूमकेतु के तो उभरिए और गायब हो जाइए। लेकिन
सुनिए ना, सीधा ये तो बताइए, एक बीजेपी परफॉर्म्स एट 85 सीट्स जो अभी आपके लीड्स चल रही हैं, क्या नीतीश कुमार मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे कि बीजेपी में से अंदर से वर्कर्स लीडर्स की आवाज आएगी कि हमारा अपना कोई बनना चाहिए? सीधा सवाल है अश्विनी।
प्रतिशत 100 होता है बरखा जी, मगर मैं कह रहा हूं कि 1000% नीतीश जी हमारे मुख्यमंत्री थे, हैं और रहेंगे। मैंने अभी चैलेंज किया है, वो खुला चैलेंज। और बरखा जी, पत्रकारिता में आपको नहीं चैलेंज कर रहा हूं मैं, लेकिन एक बयानों में चैलेंज कर रहा हूं कि एक बयान दिखा दीजिए किसी भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नेता का, चला दीजिए आप, कि उसने कहा हो कि नीतीश जी मुख्यमंत्री नहीं बनेंगे। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा कि हम उनके नेतृत्व में चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं।
घोषित नहीं किया गया ना, कैंपेन में घोषित।
देखिए, घोषित भारतीय जनता पार्टी में बहुत कम जगहों पर घोषित किया जाता है, बहुत कम। अभी 4-5 चुनाव हुए, राजस्थान हुआ, मध्य प्रदेश हुआ, हमारा जो है महाराष्ट्र हुआ। ये कहां घोषित किया गया था, जरा बता दीजिए हमको। हम लोग एक प्रॉपर प्रक्रिया से चलते हैं। उसी में कुछ पत्रकार भाइयों को चूंकि सूत्र से खबर निकालना रहता है, वो दिक्कत होती है। और विरोधियों को तो खैर दिक्कत है ही है हम लोगों से, क्योंकि 56 साल तक उनकी सरकार रही। अब हमने देखिए, अभी कोई समृद्धि की बात कर रहा था कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी समृद्ध है पैसे से, कार्यकर्ताओं से, तो हमने वो मेहनत की है कि अपनी ट्रेन को हम आगे ले गए हैं। कांग्रेस ने 56 साल तक राज किया इस देश पर, और वो समृद्ध थे, वो कार्यकर्ता भी उनके थे, सब कुछ थे, लेकिन हमने उनको पीछे किया है और अपने आप को आगे किया है। ये हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं के बदौलत है, हमारे नेतृत्व के आशीर्वचन से, उनके कुशल नेतृत्व से है कि हम लोग आज आगे बढ़ रहे हैं और समृद्धि हमारे पास है। और कार्यकर्ताओं की समृद्धि से तो हम खुश होना चाहिए।
गुलाम साहब हमारे साथ है, गुलाम गौस जेडीयू के नेता हैं, इमरानुल हक आरजेडी के हैं, we also have Jansuraj leadership, but I want to go to Professor Ashwini. But before that, Aarti, you made the point that there was a Modi did not campaign with Nitish. There was a sense in the beginning that he was dispensable. But now you're hearing Ashwini Shahi saying not 100%, but 1000% Nitish will be CM. So he's certainly sounding very categorical. If you want to react to that.
No, I think, Barkha, there's no question. Absolutely. I'm on the same page as Ashwini ji on this. And, it's really unfair to compare it to Maharashtra. The numbers in Maharashtra were so completely different. The BJP had 135 seats. Eknath Shinde had, 1/3 of that. Yeah. And, actually, if push came to shove, the BJP could have actually dispensed with Eknath Shinde and formed a government with the NCP and, some independents and some smaller parties. So here they cannot do that. The BJP and JDU are running almost neck and neck. So there's no question of them dumping, the JDU, and there is no question of Nitish stepping back and accepting to be anything other than chief minister. I would be really, really surprised.
We need to talk about
because,
what this means.
Nitish also does not have a succession line. There is no man, no person, in the second round who he would like to promote to, become the next chief minister of Bihar. So it's, this is Nitish Kumar's party, and Nitish Kumar will demand his pound of flesh. And remember, Barkha, he has the biggest lever of all. He can do what he did in 2015.
He can change sides. He can change sides.
Paltu Kumar, he can change sides. It's a huge bargain.
I don't think the BJP would risk it. I think especially because he himself has done well. It would be a different issue if he hadn't done well. He's done very well for himself. Professor Ashwini, I want to bring you in. You coined the phrase maternal welfare state. We wait for the granularity of the data to show was this women, was this across Bihar? We don't have those details yet. But through this speculation, will he be chief minister? Will he not? Nilanjan saying the leadership issue is not settled. Aarti and Ashwini ji saying bilkul settled hai, 1000% settled hai. Do you, what do you see Nitish doing? I mean, I think he would expect to be chief minister. By the way, we're all assuming this is now an NDA government, even though we've not officially called this election yet. But it's 187 for the NDA to 53 of the Mahagathbandhan, and it's been 2 hours since I've been watching this gap and nothing has moved in terms of the gap closing. Professor Ashwini.
Yeah, based on not just on my research and extensive work that I have done on Bihar, but also on my lived experiences, growing up years during emergency, and also the Mandal revolution, etc., etc. So I have seen, Laluji, Nitishji, Ramvilas very closely, and I also want to reflect a little bit on their art of possible, or their art of leadership. Nitish is a very unusual politician. Let us recognize that. I'm remembering, classic words of, Sankarshan Thakur, who called him political alchemist. Let's not undermine Nitish Kumar. He may be facing challenges here and there in terms of, political negotiation, party affiliations, shifting here and there, I called him elsewhere, 3 years back when he shifted allegiances in terms of shifter. He's India's classic politician whom neither journalist nor analyst or political scientist have paid enough attention to, his art of, shape shifting and his political pragmatism. So back here, just to say a few words, structurally and also qualitatively, Maharashtra and Bihar are very, very dissimilar. They cannot be compared, both in terms of their social history, caste composition, party allegiances, and shifting, social situations. Let us not also, underestimate that Nitish is larger than his political heft, because he himself has become a social construct. And I call that social construct in terms of encapsulation or symbolizing maternal welfare state. What is this maternal welfare state? It really challenges conventional sociologists and political scientists that this is not coming out of a high economic development as happened elsewhere in the world, or even across India in different states, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, elsewhere in my larger body of work. What Nitish has built, systematically and grounded, civic structure of welfareism led by women. So we have to really look at granular data where 1.7 crore women voted. One thing is very clear from Bihar election early leads, that women are winners. There is no doubt about it. Nitish becomes CM or somebody else becomes CM. Perhaps secondary to me as an analyst, as a political theorist, where women are winning. Because the gender gap over time, if you look at the way women have, outwitted, and also if there is a new view on migration also, left out women have gone ahead of, in terms of, you go to any village.
But Professor Ashwini, I'm sorry I'm interrupting you, and we'll need this data to be more granular, but C Voter is saying that the NDA is leading on 42 out of 55 Muslim dominated seats.
Yeah.
Again, we don't know what this actually means in terms of the breakup within these seats, but this is the update that is coming from C Voter right now. So I just wanted to share this with you.
I would also very briefly, Barkha, reflect on, what some people are actually, going back and back, looking at the familiar playbook, I would just remind them, from the days of M.S. Srinivas until now, any younger sociologist, caste or the vote bank is not fixed, It's a dynamic idea. It's a fluid idea. Even if you look at older CSDS data, I guess that will inform you that this whole kind of MOI is not a hegemonic block, It seems there has been rupture there, fragmentation there. And once we get to know the granular side of the data, that's very obvious.
This is a very important point.
Bumper result.
I want to get Ghulam Saab of the JDU in. Ghulam Saab, कैसे देखते हैं आप ये very good news for the BJP, very good news for the JDU. पार्टी की तरफ से क्या कोई भी apprehension है कि मुख्यमंत्री की इशू पे कोई सवाल है?
मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार के अलावा बिहार दूसरा चेहरा कौन है जो वर्तमान में मुख्यमंत्री बन सकता है?
लेकिन ये आपको लगता है
जाति किसी
हाँ बोले
नहीं, हमको लगता है जितनी सारी इनकी योजनाएं थी, रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ एनी कास्ट एंड रिलीजन, सबके बीच पहुंचे, चाहे साइकिल की राशि हो, प्रोत्साहन राशि हो, चाहे वो हिंदू हो, मुस्लिम हो, सिख हो, ईसाई हो, पारसी हो, बौद्ध हो, जैन हो, कोई घर ऐसा नहीं कर सकता है कि हमारे यहाँ सरकार का पैसा किसी न किसी योजना के माध्यम से नहीं मिला हो। इसीलिए लोगों ने विश्वास किया है नीतीश कुमार के नेतृत्व पर, और जनता ने अपार समर्थन दिया है, और इसको सब लोगों को कबूल करना चाहिए, जनता के निर्णय। ऐसे हारने वालों की तकलीफ तो होती है, लेकिन लोकतंत्र है, लोकतंत्र की यही शोभा है।
गुलाम साहब, आपसे पूछना चाहूंगी, आपने कहा नीतीश जी के अलावा कोई मुख्यमंत्री के लिए कोई चेहरा ही नहीं है। आपको लगता है कि इस चुनाव में नीतीश जी को अंडर एस्टिमेट किया था? प्रशांत किशोर ने कहा 25 सीट से ज्यादा आएंगे तो मैं राजनीति छोड़ दूंगा। बीजेपी ने भी मुख्यमंत्री घोषित नहीं किया उनको एज अ कंटेंडर। क्या कहेंगे इसके बारे में?
बरखा जी, आप तो बहुत रिप्यूटेड पत्रकार हैं, आपकी शालीनता, आपकी पत्रकारिता से मैं प्रभावित रहा हूँ। तो बस चलता तो गोदी मीडिया के लोग उनको प्रधानमंत्री का उम्मीदवार घोषित कर देते, अपने औकात से आ गए। हुआ खड़ा करना पैसे के बलबूते पर मैनेज करना, मैं नहीं करना चाहता था। मैं भी पत्रकारिता किए बहुत दिनों तक,
लेकिन
हाँ।
इस तरह से गिरा हुआ स्तर जो इस बार हुआ है कहा नहीं जा सकता। तो प्रधानमंत्री के उम्मीदवार है प्रशांत
कौन?
किशोर और दूसरी
आप कह रहे हैं
प्रशांत किशोर की
आप कह रहे हैं गोदी मीडिया प्रशांत किशोर को पीएम कैंडिडेट बना
तो
देती है।
प्रधानमंत्री बना था, प्रधानमंत्री के रूप में पेश कर रहे थे और
पर
जनता ने जो निर्णय दिया वो आपके सामने है।
पर गुलाम साहब, आपको लगता है कि आपके अपने अलायंस पार्टनर बीजेपी की तरफ से भी जो शुरू में एक 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 दर्जा दिया जाना चाहिए था नीतीश जी को, वो नहीं दिया?
अच्छा चलिए, कभी कभी होता है इस तरह की बात, लोकतंत्र है ना। लोकतंत्र में हमेशा हाँ में बात नहीं होनी चाहिए। हर आदमी
बरखा जी, कब
अपने
तक आप लोग जो है हम लोगों को लड़ाने की कोशिश करते
अरे
रहेंगे और वो
नहीं
हम नाकाम
सर,
करते रहेंगे जी।
अरे
लड़ने
नहीं
वाले हम
सर,
लोग
जरा।
नहीं है, लड़ने वाले नहीं है। जनता ने इस गठबंधन को अपार समर्थन दिया है। मैं जनता के निर्णय को सलाम करता हूँ और विपक्ष के साथियों से भी उम्मीद करता हूँ कि वो सहयोग करेंगे। जो भी सरकार बनेगी उसमें उनकी सकारात्मक आलोचना होनी चाहिए, सकारात्मक भूमिका होनी चाहिए। लोकतंत्र में विपक्ष भी जो है सरकार का ही अंग होता है। हम लोग नेहरू जी के जमानों को याद करें कि क्या
जी,
लोकतंत्र था उस।
चलिए, आपने बहुत, मैं अश्विनी शाही जी आपको बताना चाहती हूँ, मैं किसी को लड़वाना नहीं चाहती हूँ, मैं चाहती हूँ कि दोस्ती सब में ही बनी रहे। लेकिन गुलाम साहब से पूछना तो मेरा ड्यूटी है कि भाई क्या लग रहा है, क्या भावनाएं हैं। तो उन्होंने बड़ी अच्छी तरह से बोला, ये होता है, कभी कभी होता है, सो दिस इज नेचुरल पॉलिटिक्स। दिलीप चेरियन इज विद अस, इमरानुल हक is with us as well of the RJD, and I think I see दीपक जी ऑफ द जनसुराज पार्टी। दीपक जी नमस्कार, आपसे ही शुरू करती हूँ। जब आप मेरे शो पे पहले आए थे एग्जिट पोल्स के दिन, तो आपको बहुत उम्मीद थी कि बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस रहेगा। जनसुराज इज नॉट मैनेज टू लीड इन एनी सीट, कितनी निराशा है?
लोकतंत्र है। बरखा जी नमस्कार, और हमारे पैनल पर जुड़े हुए सारे हमारे मित्रों को मेरा नमस्कार है। लोकतंत्र है बरखा जी, और लोकतंत्र में जनता मालिक होती है। हम एक विकल्प के रूप में हमारे नेताजी ने एक जो बिहार में पिछले बहुत सालों से बंधुआ राजनीतिक बंधुआ मजदूरी थी, उसको दूर करने के लिए हमारे नेताजी ने एक सशक्त विकल्प के रूप में और जनता के मुद्दों को लेकर हम जनता के पास गए थे। जनता अभी हमें आशीर्वाद उतना नहीं दे पाई जितना उन्हें देना चाहिए था। खैर, जनता मालिक है, और जिनको भी उन्होंने आशीर्वाद दिया है हम उनके साथ हैं, और बिहार के विकास के लिए, बिहार की समस्याओं, मूलभूत समस्याओं के निदान के लिए जो भी सरकार आ रही है या जो सरकार चल रही है, उनके साथ हम खड़े रहेंगे, उनका सहयोग करेंगे। लेकिन यदि
अभी
आने वाली सरकार,
आपने अभी कहीं कहा टाइगर जिंदा है अभी?
नहीं, हम तो हैं। हमारे नेताजी ने कहा है कि बिहार के विकास के लिए, बिहार में बदलाव के लिए, बिहार की सारी समस्याओं को सुलझाने के लिए हमारा तन मन धन सब भी सर्वस्व भी न्यौछावर हो जाए तो भी हम बिहार की जनता के लिए हमेशा यहाँ रहेंगे।
पर दीपक जी, प्रशांत किशोर ने कहा था कि अगर नीतीश कुमार की 25 से ज्यादा सीट आए तो वो राजनीति छोड़ देंगे। यहाँ पे या एक मिनट ना, यहाँ पे गुलाम जी हैं जेडीयू के, वो बोले कि कुछ मीडिया का बस चले तो वो तो प्रशांत किशोर को पीएम कैंडिडेट बना देते हैं। तो आप क्या कहेंगे दीपक जी?
देखिए, हमारे नेताजी ने बिहार में बदलाव के लिए ईमानदार और निश्चल प्रयास किया है, और बिहार की राजनीति में एक अच्छे राजनेता का प्रादुर्भाव हुआ है, और देश की राजनीति में भी एक अच्छे नेता का प्रादुर्भाव हुआ है। आज के समकालीन नेताओं में जो हमारे नेताजी हैं प्रशांत किशोर जी, सब में तुलनात्मक अध्ययन किया जाए, आप उनको देश के अग्रणी और राज्य के अग्रणी नेताओं में मान सकते हैं और परख सकते हैं। और बिहार की मूलभूत समस्याओं को सुलझाने के लिए, बिहार में बदलाव के लिए, बिहार को आगे ले जाने के लिए पक्ष और विपक्ष दोनों को हमारे नेताजी जैसे प्रखर राजनेता की जरूरत है। उनका क्या बयान है वो अलग बात है, लेकिन देश की जनता, बिहार की जनता और हमारी पार्टी कभी भी प्रशांत किशोर जी को, इतने अच्छे प्रखर राजनेता को कभी भी हम लोग नहीं राजनीति छोड़ने की बात करने देंगे, और वो बिहार के हित में और देश के हित में नहीं होगा। हमें एक ऐसे प्रखर और अच्छे राजनेता की जरूरत है जो अपनी बातों को और जनता की समस्याओं को बेबाक और मूल रूप से सबके सामने रखता है और उसके लिए प्रयास और प्रयत्न कर रहा है। वो अपना सारा सर्वस्व लगा के बिहार में बदलाव के लिए उन्होंने कहा है कि हम प्रयास करते रहेंगे। पहले भी हम बिना विधायक के विपक्ष में थे, आज भी हम जो भी हमें चीजें मिलती हैं बिहार की जनता की तरफ से, जो ही हमें आशीर्वाद मिलता है, जितना ही % वोट शेयर मिलता है, उसके साथ हम बिहार की जनता की सेवा के लिए हमेशा लगे रहेंगे और हम अपने नेताजी कभी भी राजनीति से अलग नहीं होने देंगे। और बिहार की जनता का के हित में है कि हमारे राजनेता हमेशा राजनीति करें।
Deepak ji, dhanyawad. I want to welcome also Sandeep Ghosh, political analyst, Dilip Cherian, political analyst, Shashik, political commentator, to our program. Imranul Haq of the RJD, Ghulam Saab of the JDU, Ashwini Shahi of the BJP are with us. Nilanjan, I know you have to leave, so we'll take a last word from you. But just to reiterate, C-Voter has a very interesting strike rate scorecard. The BJP is leading in 87 seats. It contested 101. And the JDU is leading in 74 seats. It contested 101. The LJP is leading in 22 seats. I wasn't done with it. Go back to that. The LJP is leading in 22. It contested 28. Now, if we can show the Mahagathbandhan scorecard by comparison, please. Look at what's happened to the RJD. The RJD is leading in 33 seats. It contested 143. The Congress contested 61 and it is leading in 7 seats only. So while we are not officially calling the election, for the last 2 hours, the gap has not at all been bridged. In fact, it has been worse and worse news for the Mahagathbandhan. The NDA stands today at 190. At the moment, the BJP is the single largest party in the leads. It's the second best performance for the BJP in the last 25 years, but the best in the last 10 years. For the RJD, it's their worst performance in the last 10 years. This is very, very significant politics. But although the BJP looks like it's going to be the single largest party, Ashwini Shahi of the BJP has said 100% nahi, ab 1000% le lijiye ki Nitish Kumar hi mukhyamantri banenge. Now, before I get all our new guests to react, please let me get Nilanjan to give a last word and then we'll say thank you and goodbye to him. Nilanjan.
I see that the picture is that, it's a remarkable election for the BJP.
Oh, sorry. Sandeep just said that don't go. He wants to say something to you. So I'll let you make a point and then we'll take Sandeep one point.
Sure.
Yes. Sorry. Yes. Yeah.
No, I see that this is a remarkable election for the BJP because it has emerged as the single largest. Somebody else was...
Sorry, I think, now speak.
No, I'm saying that this is a remarkable election for the BJP because for the first time it is in its alliance with the JDU. I think, I'm correct on this.
Yeah.
It has emerged as the single largest party in Bihar. It is something, which has been tried by the BJP from the day the alliance was stitched right, from the times of Arun Jaitley in, way back in 2000, 2001. From that time onwards, or even before, the alliance with the Samta party is even older. So it sees that this is the beginning of the BJP becoming the elder brother in the alliance with the JDU.
Yeah.
I would take the point, that possibly Nitish Kumar would continue. After having said that on the spur of the moment and listening to my fellow panelists, I would possibly, think that yes, at least for the moment, Nitish Kumar possibly cannot be not made the chief minister. But I definitely do not see him as being a very potent leader for a variety of reasons. 5 years later, the BJP is going to be in a much more dominant position. It would also be able to nurture better local leadership, something that the BJP has completely failed in Bihar. But this is something which they will do now, that continue to try to build more local leadership, because a lot of political landscape of India is going to change in the next 5 years. So I'll leave it here that this is an election where the RJD was able to retain its base, in terms of its vote share. Also, if you compare it with what was there in 2020, it's by and large 0.5% down at the moment, 22.98 and 23.5 as shown on the screen. So essentially bad alliance. The Congress didn't do its job. They didn't fight together. Tejashwi Yadav was possibly getting worried that Rahul Gandhi is getting all the kudos for the crowds that were collecting for the vote chori campaign. maybe the people just came without really getting convinced with what they were saying. Uh, Lots of things have to be there, but as I said again, that we have to look at this election in conjunction with what happened in Maharashtra, Haryana, and now Bihar, to take a look at the larger issues which have also surfaced, which we cannot comment on this part of the moment today without studying the data.
Okay, before you go, I'll get Sandeep
Yeah.
to react. He specifically had a conversation or a
Yeah.
comment for you.
Yeah.
Sandeep.
I just wanted to, break your monotony and take you back to circa 2015. I used to write for Nilanjan then, and I was catching a flight from Coimbatore, and Nilanjan called me. He said, "Quickly finish my op-ed because NDTV has called the elections for Bihar." So I wrote the op-ed for him, got onto the flight. By the time I landed in Delhi, he said, "No, change the op-ed because the
I am laughing because I was in NDTV then.
and then
And
to
forever burnt
compensate.
by that experience. We've never called an election till it's
And,
over after that.
and so after that, Nilanjan, to compensate, he called me to Noida that evening, and his wife gave me the most outstanding mutton curry, which I have not forgotten till today. So I had to recall that because of the Bihar election and Nilanjan being there.
No, thank you for sharing that story and reminding us why everybody has become so nervous about calling an election, right? And that is why, while these numbers have not moved for the last 2 hours, we are not calling the election.
My last word, I heard somebody saying that, have you heard the latest political joke? I said, what? He said, जो आंकड़े अमित शाह जी चुनाव के पहले बोलते हैं वही नतीजा होगा.
अच्छा.
He said 160 पार तो 160 पार.
Well, it is if these leads hold again. मैं तो बहुत ध्यान से with that 2015 experience.
Thank you.
Bye, Nilanjan. Thank you. So we'll say if these leads hold, it is a superlative performance by the BJP, leading in 85 seats. Its vote share up from 19.8 to 21.9. The RJD, its drop in vote shares is only sort of marginal, but it is leading in 33 compared to 75 seats. Look at the JDU. It is leading in 78 seats with a nearly 3-point increase in vote share. And the Congress has dropped about a point and a half, but is leading in only 7 seats. Let's open this up. Dilip Cherian, I'll start with you, then Shashi Shekhar, and then come back to Sandeep Ghosh, and then go back to our other guests. Dilip, what's the big picture? We're not calling it. We're being careful, but the gap has not bridged at all. Dilip. Can't hear Dilip. I'm so sorry.
I don't think it's about being careful. I think we've had elections which have turned, and therefore caution is a good idea. Whether this shows that the pundits who predicted, as Nilanjan spoke and then vanished, said that the possibility of calling the election only rests with one voice. But this is certainly a huge wiping out of the RJD's high hopes in this election. And I think actually the big message is, pardon my crossing borders, is for Akhilesh. He should recognize that partnering with the Congress is not going to be a very good idea, given the speed at which its organizational incapability is being made visible. This is not about candidates. This is about ground level troop action. And I think that the real message ought to be that Tejashwi must recognize that part of the reason why a lot of his voters probably abandoned him is because they thought he was in the wrong partnership. The shocker, of course, is the rise of Nitish, who was being written off through much of this campaign. And while the BJP may have had substantial increases in its total number of vote shares, but the surprise element.
I don't know where Dilip vanished while he was making that big point, and I completely agree with him.
Credibility reasons and all that.
You're back. Dilip, we lost you briefly, but you were saying rise and rise of Nitish is the story. Dilip? Okay, Dilip
Sorry,
can't hear us.
the story about Nitish and the myths about him as being someone who doesn't have, the ground army or the help to do this campaign, that proved to be false. And it really is caste consolidation of the kind that hasn't been seen before. The overwhelming truth of the matter is that many of the castes that Nitish always has had have stayed with him and only strengthened.
Okay, there's something obviously wrong with Dilip Cherian's connection, but let's get other voices in. Shashi, what's the big message? Again, being very careful here, but I do think that we are looking at Nitish Kumar or whatever, the NDA forming the government, Nitish Kumar most likely to be the chief minister. He has shown a very interesting kind of politics. He did not do a single interview with anybody through the campaign. He may have been underestimated, not just by the media, but certainly by the opposition and also maybe by the BJP. The BJP did not declare him a chief ministerial candidate. What do you think, Shashi?
Yeah, thanks. I think, first of all, I think you can call this election. I don't see a scenario where,
Yeah, I
100
mean,
seats
my
that
instinct,
won't
but
happen.
I'm tempted to call, but I'm being very careful.
Yeah. So I think zooming out, I think the big picture is this, right? That if you look at the run up to this election, there was a lot of talk of all kinds of things. Firstly, there were, all these conspiracy theories around vote theory, the election commission, the electoral process, the electoral rules. I mean, there was endless litigating of the process itself, right? And then you have this stupendous turnout, and especially women turnout, which is significantly higher than the male turnout in several districts. I think there's a very deep message there that you cannot do this kind of politics where if you are unlikely to win, message is not resonating. You can't just keep calling the process as flawed. I think that is the one big picture message that is emerging. The second is, of course, the kind of politics. I think the Indian economy, one of the brightest spots, if you look at the global picture, the global map, especially with all the geopolitical turmoil, the tariffs, all the stuff that has happened. Despite all of that, I think there is a very clear momentum with the overall economy, and that is reflected in the voters' aspirations. That people are voting for the economy of the future. They are not voting for the kind of sops that were announced, where thinking of only government jobs, every family getting a government job, and so on. I think the voter today is looking beyond that to be part of the overall aspirational growth story of India, and Bihar wants to play a role there. And Bihar, being historically one of the most economically backward of states, would want to reclaim its spot. If you go back to our ancient history, I mean, Bihar was the crucible of the Indian civilization, right? You had Nalanda there, you had the Magad kingdom there, you had all sorts of things that originated from Bihar. I mean, in a sense, it was the cradle of the Indian civilization. And how did it lose its way in the last few decades? So clearly,
would you say that the vote chori rhetoric in the end fell completely flat, going by these numbers?
Not just flat, I think it is done and dusted. I think if there is anything that between Mr. Rahul Gandhi and his advisors, I think they just need to completely shut shop, because it has become irrelevant. Nobody's bothered about any of this stuff. I mean, it's just that group thing that has been going on between his party, his advisors, and the motley group of activists who have been drumming up these conspiracy theories, which have practically no basis.
Let me get Sandeep Ghosh in. The big picture, Dilip Cherian is already saying Akhilesh needs to take a cue. Partnering with the Congress tends to pull parties down. For the RJD, I mean, we know now that Tejashwi had to fight behind the scenes to get declared a CM candidate, and Rahul Gandhi went missing at that time. Shashi Shekhar says the vote chori issue is not just fallen flat, it's done and dusted, it's over. The Congress is still giving statements about how the election commission, they're still pointing fingers at the election commission. What is the big message? I mean, I think the BJP probably hoped for this performance for itself, but was not necessarily expecting this performance for Nitish Kumar.
No, I think before coming there, I'll tell you why I think BJP worked. This is part of the electoral strategy. and very good electoral engineering. I'll come to that theory. But first point, which Dilip mentioned, I have been just tweeted. I say I just want, imagining the scene, what kind of drubbing or lashing Tejashwi is going to receive from Lalu for giving Congress so many seats in this election. I don't think Lalu would have given a 56 number of seats, and he would be calling him really some choicest names for doing that mistake. And so Akhilesh would obviously take lesson for that, and any other Congress ally. Because who are the, what is Congress's ground strength there, which all of us have been commenting? Who are the people who were the actual few leaders of Congress who still exist in Bihar? You saw what a Tariq Anwar's comment, the other person who has quit, Shakil Ahmed, who quit after the voting date. Everybody, none of the actual leaders were there. You had only Pawan Khera speaking, and the Sunil, whatever is his name, I can pronounce his last name too well. He was coming. Those are the people, and Yogendra Yadav sitting there. They are, and Praveen guy. They are the people who are calling the Congress strategy. So I think that is a grave mistake. And Congress is also this whole arrogance to actually come up, be on the driver's seat where they're worse than a minor partner. I think that these are lessons for everybody to draw. Now, when you're coming back to the alliance and the vote share and polarization, I think the Dilip's point has to be seen slightly more nuanced way. Tejashwi has delivered in terms of the Yadav votes. If we were to go by Pradeep Gupta and other people's analysis, he has consolidated the Yadav vote, not only of the male votes, also the female votes. What he could not get was the non-Yadav EBC or whatever you call the extreme backward classes vote, which a Congress should have delivered, to some extent got for him. Also the anti-incumbency vote of Nitish. There's no denying there was an anti-incumbency vote of Nitish. How did BJP do that? BJP this time consolidated that, or sort of compensated for Nitish's anti-incumbency by first of all getting Paswan's son into the fold so that he didn't undercut any of Nitish's votes. Prashant Kishore played that role in kind of sort of acting as a filter for the anti-incumbency vote getting transferred to MJB. So, and as you mentioned earlier, Nitish did not give any interviews. It is the BJP booth workers, booth level management, which contributed also to JDU's win. So they have seen it this time as a holistic thing, and so has Nitish Singh. So people are asking, without Nitish, this alliance could not have worked. Again, Nitish could not have won without the BJP machinery at his disposal. That is how I see that. The last point, Barkha, I will make is, I think too much point is made about this people moving out of Bihar for employment. People will go where there is a greater opportunity. Nobody is a fool today to stay back, even at the lure of a government job, which they know how much is going to earn them. If I am giving perhaps not a correct equivalence, people will say with a comparison with Kerala. The people from Kerala who used to go to work in the Gulf, it is not that they were doing some great job there. They were earning and they're repatriating the money, and they were happy and vote for the LDF or the UDF in Kerala to keep it going. I have seen today, Barkha, with my own eyes, I was talking about Coimbatore, I used to live there, Bihari workmen returning from Coimbatore in hordes on plane. And when I asked them how he said, they say, you see, what is my daily earning here in Tirupur or any other place I'm earning? If I were to go by train, I'd be wasting 5 days. Here I buy a ticket in advance and I'm earning in a day much more than what I'd be earning in a month in staying back in Bihar. So if they see the opportunity, if tomorrow you even get industry into Bihar, these people will still go there. And what is happening, the last point is Nitish's period, 20 years. Everybody might say, it's a glass half full empty. Even if you say it's 3/4 empty, the 25% development which people have seen is much more than what was the development earlier. And Nitish's development has cut across caste line. It has not been restricted to one community. And Nitish, like to some extent, like Naveen Patnaik, even Chandrababu Naidu, gives the confidence that he can get the center to invest, and which the center has been doing. Here, so the development you see in roads, electricity, water and everything. That is touching. People realize that difference. You and I sitting in Bombay, Delhi or Bombay or wherever, we won't understand this psyche, Gati Shakti, the freight corridor, all these things coming in, people understand rather than getting some Garib Rath and Kullad ki chai. They realize the difference between that and this today.
I want to actually talk a little bit about the larger politics that emerges from this situation, right? Dilip, I hope you're steadier now because I want you to pick up on what Sandeep and Shashi Shekhar have said. One of the points that Shashi made was vote chori is not just over, it's done and dusted. There are no takers for it in this. In Bihar, it had zero impact on the result, both in the turnout and the actual numbers. Sandeep, you just heard. I want you to pick up on the ramifications for this in other states. As you said, Akhilesh, what happens now to the Congress? Look at the Congress. The Congress is down to only 7 leads. The RJD is down to only 36.
Great question, Barkha. And I think that while Sandeep has looked at some aspects of it, I must say that the thing for regional parties, the big message for them is that this double engine Sarkar theme is actually not as much of a lure if you see how much Nitish has gained. So it is a successful regional party which has the right kind of electoral strategy and obviously its own boots on the ground that makes the difference. I think that while it may be good for a prime minister to campaign, the people of any state, and Bihar is probably one of the most politically literate states there is, can make out who is going to be their leader. And the question out of the past has always been, show me your leader. And that is what worked this time in Bihar. And the public confidence, which will be repeated in other states, that if we can see who's going to be the face of the government that's going to lead us, we will take a informed decision as to whether she or he is someone we can go with. I don't think that they're really concerned about the big issues of investment and I know that Shashi referred to it, of infrastructure or large mega greenfield projects. I don't think that expectations on that are high. Give us social justice, give us the doles we need, give us the 10,000 rupees in the bank, and we will vote for you. But we will vote for the party that has a leader who's going to be here, based here, and working for us, and who we can hold accountable in the years to come.
Pooja Tripathi of the Congress is with us. Welcome to the program. How disappointed are you? Would you accept what was just being said here, that all of the issues that Rahul Gandhi tried to raise, particularly vote chori, had zero resonance, zero takers in Bihar? Question one. Question two, Dilip Cherin was making the point that this will have ramifications for an Akhilesh Yadav who should and might reconsider tying up with the Congress for UP. What's your response, Dr. Tripathi? And before you respond, let me tell you what the strike rate looks like. The RJD is down to 36, leading in 36. It contested 143 seats. The Congress is only leading in 6 seats. It contested 61. And by comparison, if we could show the NDA scorecard as well, it is a very different scorecard. The BJP is leading in 87 of 101 seats it contested. And the JDU, the big sort of comeback kid story of this election, is leading in 75 in 101 seats that it contested. Dr. Tripathi.
Barkha, when you talk about disappointment, very disappointed because this campaign was run on the pitch of development. Tejashwi actually brought the issue of Kamai, Sichai, Karwai, Jansunwai, which was picked up later by Amit Shah ji, who was initially, harboring on monologue of PM ki maa ka apman and then Guspetki and all that, and then he started talking about Kamai Sunwai, but what we see here is it's just the whole India Gathbandhan's tally has been down. You cannot call Congress a big loser because everybody is losing. When you talked about the strike rate of RJD, which is very, very surprising to me, to be first, because I've been in Bihar. I've been there when the campaign heat was going on, and then I saw people actually demanding jobs, people actually demanding reforms in health, education, people demanding, asking questions, but it has not translated to results. And 10,000 rupees dole out of 10,000 rupees is actually a big amount when it comes to something as economically deprived state as Bihar. 10,000 is the money that their counterpart husband won't be earning that much money, won't be earning that much money. So 10,000 has been a big game changer. But all in all, it has been a very disappointing day. And we didn't expect this kind of result. We didn't expect this clean sweep by NDA. Congratulations to the winner. Congratulations to Nitish Kumar. I hope NDA takes a bet on him and he does not become Eknath Shinde too, and he goes on to become the CM of state. And yeah, that's it.
I must get Ashwini Shahi to respond कि नीतीश कुमार एकनाथ शिंदे ना बन पाए और हमने इलेक्शन नहीं कॉल किया लेकिन कांग्रेस ने कंसीड कर दिया है. आई थिंक इट्स क्वाइट क्लियर नाउ. अश्विनी जी.
देखिए, नीतीश कुमार जी के ऊपर जो भी कयास लगाना हो आप लोग लगाते रहिए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. आने वाले दिनों में
मैंने क्या किया है? मैं तो सवाल
आपकी बात नहीं कर रहा हूं, मैं विरोधी दलों की बात कर रहा हूं. आपने तो सवाल पूछा है, मैं विरोधी दलों की बात कर रहा हूं. देखिए, आप लोग तो जो है कुछ खोजने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं उनसे कह के, हमसे कह के, लेकिन उसमें फिर भी वही है कि नीतीश कुमार जी बिहार के सीएम होने जा रहे हैं फिर से, जब भी शपथ ग्रहण होने वाला है. दूसरी चीज, अभी देखिए राहुल गांधी जी के बारे में कहा जा रहा है, राहुल गांधी जी अप्रासंगिक हो चुके हैं बिहार में. अभी देखिए उत्तर प्रदेश में क्या हाल होता है. अखिलेश जी इस समय बहुत पूरा अमला लेकर वहां पहुंचे हुए थे, जबकि उनका कोई प्रत्याशी नहीं था. बिहार से उन्होंने, अखिलेश यादव जी ने उत्तर प्रदेश को जोड़ा था. 27 का चुनाव भी उनके हाथ से फिसलता हुआ नजर आ गया. अभी उनका एक बयान आया कि एसआईआर ने खेला कर दिया. भाई एसआईआर तो आप लोग मांग कर रहे थे, वही एसआईआर में हो रहा है कि गलत वोट हो गया, ये हो गया. एसआईआर सब सही कर रहा है. अब क्या दिक्कत है? क्योंकि अब राहुल गांधी जी को सब लोगों ने नकार दिया है तो अपने अपने बयान देने शुरू. अब पहली चीज पहली बार देखने को या दूसरी बार देखने को मिल रही है, ईवीएम बेवफा नहीं हुई, अब एसआईआर पर दोष देना शुरू किया इन लोगों ने. ईवीएम का किसी ने नाम कहीं नहीं लिया. वो एसआईआर को भी देखिए धीरे धीरे किस तरीके से कलकत्ता में मोहल्ले के मोहल्ले खाली हो रहे हैं एसआईआर के नाम पर. वोटर नहीं मिल रहे हैं, किसको बीएलओ पर्ची दे. इन लोगों के बीएलए क्या कर रहे थे? इस समय चुनाव आयोग ने निष्पक्षता का पैमाना एकदम समृद्ध रखा है और उसी की वजह से ये सारी चीजें आ रही हैं. वरना फेक वोटर्स के जरिए बिहार हो, बंगाल हो, ये लोग फिर से चुनाव लड़ने की कोशिश कर रहे थे. राहुल गांधी जी ने देखिए किस तरीके से यात्राएं निकाली, ये वोट चोरी वाला मामला. लेकिन कहां जनता, बिहार की प्रबुद्ध जनता के ऊपर कोई असर नहीं पड़ा, कोई असर नहीं पड़ा. बिहार की प्रबुद्ध जनता जानती है कि हम किस गड्ढे से निकल कर आए हैं और अब कहां हम खड़े हैं. आगे नीतीश जी की सरकार हमको कहां ले जाएगी, एनडीए की सरकार हमको कहां पर ले आकर बेहतर, डबल इंजन की सरकार का क्या फायदा होता है, ये सारी चीजें बिहार की प्रबुद्ध जनता जानती है. और खास करके हमारी माताएं और बहनें जिन्होंने वहां पर जिस तरीके से अपने हक का, ये वोट उनका अधिकार है, उसका मुजाहिरा किया है, वो काबिले तारीफ है. और इस समय हिंदुस्तान एनडीए को जो है पूरे देश में जनमत मिल रहा है. अब रोने वाले, विलाप करने वाले कुछ भी कहें, कोई कारण गिनाएं, नीतीश जी को अलग करें, शिंदे बनाएं, हो सकता है कि तेजस्वी जी 30-35 पा रहे हैं, वो लेकर अब उसमें से आधे हमारी तरफ आ जाएं. ये भी देखना होगा. तब कहेंगे ऑपरेशन लोटस चल गया. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. 2/3 बहुमत से सरकार हमारी बन रही है और कहीं संदेह नहीं है बिहार का जो विकास अब तक हुआ है इससे आगे टेक ऑफ करेगा एक तरह से बिहार का विकास. और डबल इंजन की सरकार जितनी बात हुई है माननीय प्रधान, और एक सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात है इस चुनाव में, माननीय गृह मंत्री जी ने वहां का पूरा जो है एकदम सब कुछ देख रहे थे. एक तरह से वो इंचार्ज के ऊपर पूरी नजर बनाए हुए थे, वहां पर समय दिया उन्होंने. और ये मानना पड़ेगा कि कितने बढ़िया उन्होंने जो है चुनाव का संचालन किया वहां पर, कि आज एनडीए को, ये देखिए स्ट्राइक रेट हमको लग रहा है 5% है कांग्रेस का स्ट्राइक रेट, और भाजपा और इसमें पांचों दलों का जोड़ लीजिए क्या स्ट्राइक रेट है. हमारा 80% से ऊपर है, लगभग 80% जेडीयू का है. चिराग जी का देखिए क्या है. ये सबने मिलाकर शानदार काम किया है. मैं कहना चाहता हूं अमित शाह जी को, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को, नीतीश जी को धन्यवाद कि उन लोगों ने शानदार तरीके से अपनी बातें जनता तक पहुंचाई और जनता ने उसका सम्मान किया और जनता ने एक उत्साह के रूप में वोट देकर भारतीय जनता पार्टी, जेडीयू और पांचों दलों को हमको विजयी बनाने का काम कर। जी
मैं पवन खेड़ा का बयान पढ़ना चाहती हूँ। डॉक्टर त्रिपाठी, you were very gracious, you conceded defeat, but Pavan Khera is making this about the election commission, saying this contest is directly between the election commission of India and the people of Bihar, and let's see who wins. I'm not even talking about parties, I'm talking about a direct straight contest between CEC Ganesh Kumar and the people of Bihar. And he was still hoping, of course, that these trends could change. He still said they're early trends, we're still waiting a bit. Sandeep, do you want to react on this?
Barkha, there's nothing to react except, as I said, Congress is living in denial, and living in denial, not Congress, I would say, it is the scrutiny of people who are controlling from Delhi, who I call the ruthless wonders, the backroom boys of Rahul Gandhi, who are, ex-management consultants, etc., or economists and social workers or activists. These are the people who are ruling, and so their only way of survival would be to make statements like this. But the real congressmen who have any understanding of the ground, so you find Ashok Gehlot has at least conceded, yeah, it's disappointing, but much to introspect.
Correct.
They are not going to make statements like this. It is only the Kheras of the world who are going to make this statement. Unfortunately, Rahul Gandhi depends on them rather than anybody else. So, what to do?
I want to spend now some time because, I think Shashi said you can call this election. We'll wait, chalo, 10, 15 minutes more. But I think it's quite clear that the NDA, the leads reflect a landslide win, a massive win for the NDA. Could we please have the graphics where we can see the votes and the seats in comparison to last time? That would be great if we could have that. But I want to spend some time talking about what this means for certain political entities. What does it mean for the future of RJD? What does it mean for the future of Rahul Gandhi? What does it mean for Prashant Kishore's attempts to be a politician? What is the winning formula for the BJP? There's so many bigger issues to talk about because the election numbers seem to have actually settled. According to the EC leads, the BJP is leading in 87. It has emerged as the single largest party, the JDU in 79. The RJD is down to 30. The Congress is down to 6. Dilip, I'll start with you. This is the big picture. The NDA is poised to form the government in Bihar with a massive, big win, where the BJP, according to even the election commission leads now, is the single largest party, but is likely to make Nitish Kumar the chief minister. This is what we believe. What does this mean for all the big entities involved? Like, what, will questions engulf Rahul Gandhi's leadership again? I'll start there. Dilip. Can't hear Dilip.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes.
So while we should discuss the big parties, let's first dismiss the thoughts on the small parties. Prashant Kishore will probably have to rethink whether he wants to be in this business at all. The big winner actually in the small parties is Paswan. Paswan has done very well, and that's a story on its own and deserves to be seen for what he has managed to succeeded in doing. Now, coming to the Congress, what again, to me, the big message is leave politics to politicians and keep consultants to whatever their role ought to be. I think most people know that the kind of leadership locally on the ground in Bihar was not the kind of political entities that need to get that share of power, but people who were handpicked because of either their freshness or their alleged ability to deliver advice or consulting kind of stuff to the Congress. The Congress obviously doesn't need that if the results are any indication. And they need to see that it is hardcore politics. Once strategy is set, wherever it is set, that should be the focus of the entire game. Nitish is the most interesting big party that we should discuss. And I don't think personally that there will be a Shinde kind of game played out on him. I think that he is definitely the winner of the day. And as I said earlier, he shows once again that a regional party with a powerful satrap at the local level is an unmitigated advantage in any Gathbandhan of any kind. So the fact that the BJP didn't have a face, the fact that the BJP was willing to play the supportive role is also a lesson which the BJP will probably take home. That while it has grown and while its vote share has gone up, I think that they need to recognize that as uh, politics evolves, they will have in many states to be willing to take the supportive role rather than insist on being the only dominant player.
Look at the numbers, Dilip, that we have on the screen. This gives you a comparison of both numbers and vote share. The BJP leading in 86 compared to 74. And if you see the vote share, it's almost a 2-point increase in vote share. The JDU,
Yes.
75 to 43, and 15.7% vote share the last time to nearly 19%. The RJD, look at what happened to the RJD. The vote share difference isn't that dramatic, but the RJD seats, it's gone from 75, they're the single largest party, to 34. And look at the Congress, from 19 seats in 2020 down to 5 seats, from 9.6% to 8.12. Now, this is an important graphic. It gives you everything in one slide till the leads get updated. I want reactions to this. Shashi, what is it? Sorry, Dilip and then Shashi. Yeah.
Yeah, just so that the point is valid in terms of this data, please understand that as far as my information goes from the ground, the Congress spent all its time making sure that it would not look smaller than Tejashwi. And this is the result of that effort.
Yeah. That is a very, very important point. Dr. Tripathi, do you want to respond to that before Shashi Shekhar and Sandeep Ghosh come in?
And I don't think that's true, because we were an equal partner alliance and everybody worked hard on their own issue. Everybody worked hard on their own front. Barkha, results are there for all of us to see, and we may accept it or not. The point is, winners walk away with all the glory. They'll have master class, they'll have things. We just saw their manifesto launch, finished in just 26 seconds. Nitish Kumar wasn't even allowed to speak. And then Tejashwi Yadav on their hand was not only promising great promises to Jivika Didis, to employment, and losers walk away with brickbats. And that's the beauty of democracy, and that's okay also. So, but writing off anyone, writing off the vote chori issues, not, because we saw the massive disenfranchisement which happened through the SIR exercise. We saw the massive, in 14 out of 44 districts, women were disenfranchised, women were cut off from the electoral list. We saw, we have at this list Ranjan Thakur, Nagendra Kumar, Prabhat Kumar, Santosh Oja, Sanjay Jha, Ajit Kumar, Uday Kumar. The independent fact checkers are bringing out there. They have voted in Haryana, they voted in Delhi, they voted in Bihar. We saw a train full of people coming to Bihar and vote. So vote, it's very fashionable to write off people and say that this issue didn't work when we have this kind of result. But vote chori is a pertinent issue, and mind it, the 9 people that I named out right now, everybody has one common factor. They're BJP workers, they're BJP karyakartas or the leaders, and they have been continuously voting from Rajya Sabha member to a normal karyakarta. They've been voting at the women fancy of every state elections. So vote chori is a pertinent issue that Rahul Gandhi has been bringing up on, and the whole performance of Mahagathbandhan has brought down. We'll sit on it, we'll think about it. But writing of Prashant Kishore plays that it's a democracy, it's a fair game. Everybody's welcome to have their own chance. So Prashant Kishore came back to Bihar. He had a pitch on Swasth and he had a pitch on education. And it's very fancy, it's very fashionable to write off every opponent. Ye nahi chala, are wo nahi chala. It's not like that. If we were fighting a pitch on development promises and look at their 2020 manifesto, I may seem very wrong in stating out, but they have not promised even one of the thing that they have promised in Sankalp Patra. They went away in 26 seconds. 26 seconds for Maggie bhi nahi banti. The way they launched their manifesto, and that's what people. It's people's verdict. People have elected them. People have thought about it. People have elected them, and. Let's see how they'll read the, and in the maybe in the next year we'll again tell them that they have not promised anything, that they have because launching a manifesto in 26 seconds goes on to show that you are not serious about it. And on the contrary, they were opposition leaders. They just came out of his clout of whatever he has been accused of. He actually ran a very dignified campaign. He actually took on the reins of us talking the campaign on Kamai, Sunwai, Karawai, Jan Sunwai, and that's, and Rahul Gandhi has been consistently raising the issues of vote chori, and it's not nullified. The whole issue of so many people coming out and having multiple votes goes on to say that vote is being vote stolen, and that's the reality of the day. And we have to make it a bigger campaign that doesn't nullify Rahul Gandhi or Tejashwi Yadav or even Prashant Kishore. I'm saying as a Congress spokesperson too. So no, very much big congratulations.
I don't think the aim is to nullify anybody. After all, Nitish Kumar said no.
But I see everybody coming and writing of retirement letters and writing of ye nahi chala, wo nahi chala things. People are talking about vote chori. People, there's a valid proof, and it's not Congress proof. This is independent fact just coming out and giving them. Somebody has 17 epic cards. Somebody is voting in every state elections. These are normal people who are
okay. Let's for a moment, while media houses are being, or all of us are being very careful about calling this election, the BJP has taken out a chariot. BJP workers have taken out a chariot in Patna with Prime Minister Modi's face on it. Of course, the BJP has every reason to celebrate in current leads. It is the single largest party. It's leading on 87 seats. Let's just give you a flavor of on the ground before we come back and look at the big political picture. Can we play that? Okay, I don't think the video is playing, so let's keep. Oh. Okay, there seems to be something wrong. Let's move on. It's okay. I think the pictures give us a sense of what's happening there, and the Modi picture behind this BJP leader celebrating. Let's come out and get comments from everybody. So, Sandeep, the celebrations have begun in the BJP. Do you believe that there'll be any surprises on who will be chief minister? I can't hear Sandeep either.
Yeah. I don't think that right now they cannot afford to upset the equation, and it's really quite inappropriate to compare Nitish Kumar with Eknath Shinde. They are totally different propositions, so I don't think anybody should talk about it now. As somebody mentioned earlier, I think Ashwini ji or someone, that equations may change down the line. Nitish Kumar himself may like to take on some other role, whether the center, etc., 1 year, 2 year down the line, but right now nothing is going to happen. And as far as Poojaji's comments are concerned about fashionable, I take her point, you should not write anybody, but it becomes a fashion only when you make it a habit. Congress has made it a habit to lose elections this way and blame others, so that's why it's become a fashion also to write them off. But it's time Congress to also, I think, think and introspect. And if anybody should retire or anybody's retirement, people are calling for not of the politicians, it is only about the consultants. I think they are the bane of Congress, and it's time for them to retire, even if you want to bring in a new set of consultants. Without that, it won't, you won't get anywhere. And what Dilip was talking about, smaller parties, you see why Paswan's party has won. He has also made the right choice of tagging along with the BJP. Here, BJP could bring something to its table and give it to it. So they are realizing that. So I think the salvation of the opposition would be to, if they have, we all need an opposition, even if it is a coalition opposition. But the only way the coalition would work is if they can have a coalition without the Congress, because as soon as you have Congress in it, Congress starts behaving as the big brother, bigger than everybody, and then pulls down the all alliances together. So if there is some kind of a configuration can emerge, and India without Congress, then probably you have some chance of some kind of a viable at least visible, viable opposition. Otherwise, this story will continue, and I'm afraid it will become a habit.
Well, I think it's safe to say, and I'm going to stick my neck out, that unless something very surprising happens, I'm calling the election. The NDA is set. I mean, I just can't keep waiting for the formality of this. The NDA is set to form the government in Bihar. It's been a landslide win for the NDA. The NDA is leading in 196 seats. The Mahagathbandhan is down to 42. The Jan Swaraj Party has failed to open its account, and you have 5 for others. If you look at the comparison, also could we please look at the vote share that the Jan Swaraj Party and the LJP got? It's a little bit of an incomplete graphic. We can add those, but for now, let's look at the BJP leading in 89. The BJP has had a historic win in Bihar. It is the single largest party compared to 74 seats in 2020. The JDU written off not just by media and opponents, but maybe even by the BJP, is poised to lead to get 77 seats. The RJD is down to 30 and the Congress is down to 4. We are calling this election. The gap is very big and it has not closed or moved for the last 2 to 3 hours. I think it's safe to say that it's been not just a comfortable, but a handsome victory. I think comfortable is not a word that even captures it. It has been a landslide victory for the NDA. Nitish Kumar proving that he cannot be written off is perhaps the most underestimated politician of India. And let's get big reactions now that we're calling this this election. Pooja, I'll start with you. You said that we shouldn't be writing off people. I'm not writing off anybody, but there have to be lessons learned from every election, right? What should be the progress?
Barkha, I not only talked about writing of people, I only also talked about writing of issues too. Vote chori is a pertinent issue. We see, proof and proof and proof every day out in public. I also talked about not writing about issues. Migration is a big problem. Education, health sector is in tatters. Bihar has not industrialized at 0.3%. Their per capita income is at 30%. I'm asking, to not write about issues and not just sing praises for leaders, however they may look promising or handsome or landslide victory. I'm talking about issues too. I'm not just talking about people. And having said that, a big congratulations to NDA because they said to form the government. And however we may say that things are going to change post 5 p.m., it does not look that it would change. And then they are going to form a next term of government. Congratulations to the winners and congratulations to the whole NDA club.
Okay, that's a gracious response and we appreciate it. Deepak, I was trying to find out the vote share of the Jan Swaraj Party, लेकिन मुझे अभी नहीं मिल पाया. सीट्स नहीं, आप प्रशांत किशोर ने कहा था या अर्श पे या फर्श पे. बहुत से लोग ने बिहार में कहा ही नीड्स अनदर इलेक्शन. निराशा तो आपको होगी. आप क्या कहेंगे इस नतीजे पे? दीपक जी की आवाज नहीं आ रही मुझे. हाँ, अब आ रही है जी.
हम बरखा जी, हमारा कहना है कि हमारे नेताजी प्रशांत किशोर बिहार आए और बिहार में बदलाव के लिए उन्होंने ईमानदार और निश्चल प्रयास किया. हमने अच्छे कैंडिडेट्स दिए जिसमें शिक्षाविद, न्यायविद, कानूनविद और अच्छे डॉक्टर और चिकित्सक थे. हमने समाज के अच्छे लोगों को लाके आगे खड़ा किया और उनको चुनाव लड़ाने का प्रयास किया. हमारे मुद्दे जितने भी थे बिहार और बिहार की जनता से जुड़े हुए थे और हमारे मुद्दे पर बिहार के चुनाव हुए. पहली बार जन स्वराज पार्टी द्वारा उठाए गए सारे बिहार की जनता और बिहार के मुद्दे पर चुनाव हुए. जहां तक सवाल है जनता के विश्वास का, तो जनता ने आज राजन सरकार को मैंडेट दिया है, उनके लिए शुभकामनाएं हैं. लेकिन जब आप वोट परसेंटेज की बात करेंगे तो आप देखेंगे कि वोट परसेंटेज में अभी भी आरजेडी सबसे बड़ी पार्टी है, लेकिन वो सीट के मामले में बहुत कम है. भाजपा और जदयू भी वो 20% के आसपास ही चल रही हैं. बाकी छोटी पार्टियों का गठबंधन है जिनको लेके ये वोट परसेंटेज में अपनी सीट की संख्या बहुत बढ़ा दिए हैं. 2020 में और 2025 के चुनाव के वोट परसेंटेज को देखा जाए तो जदयू के वोट परसेंटेज में अच्छा खासा उछाल आया है, लेकिन भाजपा के वोट परसेंटेज में वैसा कोई अच्छा खासा उछाल नहीं है, और लेकिन सीट के मामले में बहुत डिफरेंसेज आ गए हैं। तो बिहार की जनता ने जिनको भी मैंडेट दिया है सीट के मामले में, उनके लिए शुभकामनाएं हैं, सरकार को आगे बढ़ाएं। लेकिन जो हमारे मुद्दे हैं वो मुद्दे ज्वलंत हैं, बिहार की जनता के लिए हैं, बिहार के विकास के लिए हैं। वो मुद्दे आज हैं, वो मुद्दे कभी गौन नहीं हुए हैं, और वो मुद्दे आने वाली सरकार के सामने रहेंगे। और हम उस सरकार को उन मुद्दों पर गौर करने के लिए और उन मुद्दों को ठीक करने के लिए हम हमेशा प्रयत्न करते रहेंगे और सरकार को विवश करेंगे कि बिहार की जनता के मुद्दे को सॉल्व करें और बिहार को अग्रणी राज्यों में आगे बढ़ा के लाएं।
मैं इस समय कहना चाहती हूँ दीपक जी, थैंक यू फॉर दैट। एट द मोमेंट द CPI-ML is leading in 5 seats, which means it's leading in more seats than the Congress party. I just wanted to make that point that the CPI-ML leading in 5 seats is leading in 1 more seat than the Congress party. Tavleen Singh is with us. Let's now take and even the Oasis party is leading in more seats than the Congress party. So it's been, if these leads hold, and we have called the election, the NDA is set to form the government in Bihar. It's heading for a landslide win. The BJP has or is emerging as the single largest party, leading in 89 seats to its 74 last time. The JDU is leading in 77. Everybody who had written off Nitish Kumar was wrong, whether it was the Mahila welfare scheme or sympathy for him. He proved that he cannot be written off. The RJD down to 30 from 75, the Congress down to 4. The CPI-ML and Asaduddin Owaisi's party, both as of now leading slightly higher in 5 seats each compared to the Congress party. That's the big picture right now. Tavleen, I'll get first comments from you and then go around the panel. Sorry, Sandeep, you want to come in first and then I'll go to Tavleen. Sandeep, go ahead.
No, I thought you told me. No, I think one only other point I'd add is there is an infographics which has come out of the route Rahul Gandhi's vote chori yatra had taken in Bihar. In that entire route, they have been able to convert, but not yet converted, probably will convert only 2 seats. So if not only in terms of conversion of 56 to whatever 7 seat, that conversion ratio, look at the ROI of that, campaign and the yatra, which was being really hyped up by media. I think that if people don't recognize that, I think there is a serious, much bigger issue. And Congress is not just doing a disservice to itself, but as the so-called national party, it is doing a big disservice to the nation. Because there is still, across the nation, 17-18% people who still count on the Congress, and they're letting them down by not even salvaging or retaining that equity. They're just frittering away whatever equity was there over the years. And it's not therefore a matter of Congress party, other people who are there. I think there is also a disservice to the nation at large. Thank you. That's what I.
Okay, let's get Tavleen in and let's now look at the big picture. I think we have enough information here. Could we correct the spelling of CPI-ML on the banner? The CPI-ML is ahead of the Congress in Bihar. The Congress is down to 4 leads, the RJD 30. The left collectively is at 7. This is the big picture. The NDA is headed for a landslide win. Shukata Srinivas Raju is also with us. Tavleen, go ahead. This is what we're looking at. Nitish Kumar, who had been written off, didn't do a single interview in this whole election. Well, he released one video. He is set, I think, most likely to be the next chief minister, even though the BJP is the single largest party. And the Congress and the RJD literally find themselves massacred in the leads so far, despite a very high-pitched vote chori campaign by Rahul Gandhi. Tavleen.
Yes, I want to look at Bihar in the context of India, right? Because this is not since the Lok Sabha election, the Congress party has lost every election, right? Maharashtra, Delhi, Haryana, and now Bihar. Bihar was the most crucial in my view because they had a chance. It's got such a huge Muslim population that if they had stood for what they call their secular values and all that sort of thing. I believe that they could have done a lot better. But, much more important than that, for me, I really hope, and it's, I've been writing about this for ages, the Congress party is no longer a political party. It is a collection of courtiers that surround the family. And none of those courtiers have the courage to say to Rahul and Priyanka, can you just step back a little and let people emerge? There is no party structure, and they're up against a formidable electoral fighting machine, and they haven't yet woken up to that. So what are we going to do? We need an opposition. I find it quite dangerous in the national context that we are really, at the mercy of a party that is now, it's become what the Congress once used to be, dominating India. I don't think that's healthy.
What do you think the Congress should be doing that it isn't doing?
Well, for a start, they need to go back to their drawing board and find out at the level of the panchayats, who are their guys? Where are those Seva Dal people we used to see with the little topis on, Now, instead of them, you see the RSS Karyakartas. Where is the structure of the party gone? Why has it broken down so badly? What can they do to rebuild it from the bottom? But you see, they won't do that. They will go back to the thing. They'll talk about vote chori, and they'll talk, and secondly, I think one of the most losing tactics of the Congress party, particularly of the dynasty, is to attack Modi, just Modi. They don't really go for the BJP. It is Modi, and they belittle him, and they'll do that, and they just hope that that'll work. And I don't think it works, because some of the language that they've used against him, I think, has gone against him, because he's not just their opponent, but the Prime Minister of India. And, when you're a political party taking on an opponent, you have to respect the fact that, that these are the structures. If you think that the election commission doesn't work, if you think the Prime Minister is nonsense, if you think you have no chance, then, either you retire from contesting elections and, just give up altogether, or you look at where you're going wrong. I don't think they've had one serious report on their failures in any of the elections they've lost since 2014.
Yeah. Okay, that's a big statement there. Shashi, let me get a last word in from you. I know you have to go. Coming right to you, Dilip, right after that. Shashi just has to step off, so we'll take a last word from him.
Yeah,
Shashi,
sure.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I have 3-4 points that I just wanted to make quickly. First is, I think if there's any kind of chori, it is not vote chori, it is akal ki chori, because there is practically no common sense in the manner in which the Congress has been persisting on this issue. What Tavleen has said is very interesting, that there has been no serious review, because I think if there is a serious review, the entire leadership of the Congress will have to be shown the door, and that is the reason why there is no serious review within the Congress party. But I think there is a bigger issue with the concern from the health of the Indian democracy standpoint, that there is practically a vacuum in the non-BJP space for a non-dynastic, non-caste, non-regional party to emerge. The Aam Aadmi Party was one such hope, but that has lost its way. The Prashant Kishore phenomenon, I think, has been overhyped in the media. So that space is still vacant for waiting for someone to come in. And as far as caste-based, family-run parties are concerned, I think the only ones that have emerged viable are those which have a progressive narrative, like Naidu in Andhra, for example, or even the DMK to some extent has a progressive narrative, irrespective of all the other issues that they dabble in. So I think there is a lesson there as well for the smaller regional outfits which are family-run. The last point that I want to make is the larger narrative.
Okay. Hanji, Deepak ji. Thank you, Deepak ji. Thank you. Sorry.
The larger narrative that has emerged in the last few weeks in various international media. Why is India not seeing this so-called Gen Z revolution? Why is India stable? I think there is a lesson here that the Indian democracy and the Indian economy are, coming together. I think this is a very unique point in modern Indian history, that there's a convergence between democratic stability and the economic momentum. And I think that is what is really shaping things. And that is what we are seeing in these electoral outcomes. And that is the message that the Rahul Gandhi-led Congress is missing. Thank you.
All right, Shashi, thank you for that. We are continuing to analyze the Bihar election results. If by any chance you have just joined us, the NDA is all set to form the government in Bihar. It is heading for a landslide win. The BJP, and oh my God, just while I was speaking, is this actually correct? The BJP is now leading in 91 seats. I was talking a couple of minutes ago, and it was on the Election Commission, it's showing 88, but our other sources showing 91. Would be great if somebody could talk in my ear and confirm to me if this is correct. The BJP is leading in 91 seats, the JDU in 78, the RJD down to 30, the Congress down to 4. At the moment, the left is collectively at 7 seats, and the CPI-ML by itself, as well as the MIM, Asaduddin Owaisi's party, is ahead of the Congress. The BJP just increased and improved its leads. It's an extraordinary result for the party. Vinod Sharma of the BJP is also with us. I just want reactions. Vinod ji, आपको मुबारक. आपने सुबह कहा था, जब लग रहा था कि बहुत टाइट फाइट होने वाली है या क्लोज फाइट होने वाली है, 1 घंटे के लिए लग रहा था, लेकिन बीजेपी 91 सीट्स में लीड में है. अब ये भी चर्चा चल रही है कि इतने सीट्स के बाद क्या नीतीश कुमार ही मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे या कोई एकनाथ शिंदे टाइप सिचुएशन हो सकता है?
देखिए, पहले बिहार की जनता को हम आभार व्यक्त करते हैं, बधाई देते हैं, जिन्होंने हमारे आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री के विश्वास पर मुहर लगाया, नीतीश कुमार जी के काम पर मुहर लगाया है, और निश्चित रूप से हमारे गठबंधन जो है उनके विश्वास पर खरा उतरेगी. बिहार में और तेजी से काम होगा, बिहार और तेजी से आगे बढ़ेगा. जहां तक मैंने पहले भी कहा था, अभी भी कह रहा हूं कि नीतीश कुमार जी हमारे नेता हैं, और निश्चित रूप से आदरणीय अमित शाह जी, मोदी जी ने कहा कि इनके नेतृत्व में हम चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं, यही नेता है, तो उसमें कहीं कोई फर्क नहीं होगा. निश्चित रूप से नीतीश कुमार के नेतृत्व में सरकार बनेगी और फिर उसी गति से हम आगे बढ़ेंगे.
पर आप कहते हैं कि नीतीश कुमार ही मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे?
देखिए, कहा ना कि हमारे नेता ने ही जब कह दिया, आदरणीय केंद्रीय नेतृत्व ने कह दिया कि सीट खाली नहीं है, माननीय मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार जी हैं, तो इसका मतलब क्या होता है? निश्चित रूप से मुख्यमंत्री हैं और रहेंगे. तो सारी बातें स्पष्ट है, कहीं कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगी. हम लोग मिलजुल कर फिर से बिहार के विकास के लिए आगे प्रतिबद्ध हैं, कटिबद्ध हैं. भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने पहले भी बड़े बड़े त्याग किए हैं राज्य हित और देश हित में, तो निश्चित रूप से हम लोग इस पर अभी भी तैयार हैं कि नीतीश कुमार के नेतृत्व में सरकार बने और नीतीश कुमार के नेतृत्व में बिहार आगे बढ़े.
Okay, Madhavan Narayanan is with us. Welcome, Madhavan. For anyone who just joined us, it's a historic win for the BJP, which is leading in 91 seats of the 101 it contested. It's also very important to look at strike rates. So the BJP contested on 101 seats, is leading in 91. Nitish Kumar, written off by almost everybody, makes a stupendous comeback, leading in 78 seats of the 101 it contested. The LJP, Chirag Paswan's party, also pretty good strike rate, 22 leads in 28 seats contested. Can we switch to the Mahagathbandhan scorecard? Look at the RJD. The RJD contested 143 seats. It's down to 30. It had won 75 seats last time. And now look at the Congress party. The Congress party contested 61 seats. It is down to 4 leads. The CPI-ML and the Congress right now have the same performance. 10 minutes ago, the CPI-ML was actually ahead. But if you look at it in strike rate, the CPI-ML has done better than the Congress, because the CPI-ML only contested 20 seats. In those 20 seats, it's leading in 4. The Congress contested 61 and it's leading in 4. So this is the situation that we are looking at. Although the BJP is very clearly emerging as the single largest party, let's go to the comparison graphics on our screens as well. Nitish's story has been a great comeback story. Shugata, your first thoughts, do you agree with Tavleen that it is, of course, devastating for the RJD, but it is a wipeout for the Congress party?
Thank you, Barkha. Thank you for having me. I completely agree with what Shashik just said and also Tavleen ji. But there is a very interesting observation that I want to make about the JDU's strike rate and the number of seats that the JDU has gained. So
Yeah.
JDU contested as many seats as the BJP and they're 178. See, but still JDU looks very vulnerable to me because now the maneuverability that the JDU always used to have in the previous elections
Yeah.
is completely gone. So they are now subservient to the BJP. They cannot say that we will run away with midway with the RJD, because if you add the numbers, Barka, I don't think they can form a government together or with the entire
What do you
Mahagatbandhan.
mean? No, what do you mean?
I mean to say that in case,
Oh,
see, earlier,
you mean if Nitish turns sides?
no, that is me. What I'm trying to say is that in earlier elections, Nitish used to always have the upper hand. See, 2020, Nitish got just about 43 seats, and BJP was, I think, 74 or 75. But still, Nitish was made the chief minister because the numbers were very different on the other side. If you added a simple arithmetic, would actually give them a small majority. That's how Nitish went away in the middle. So this time, that kind of a possibility does not exist. Nitish looks a little vulnerable to me because he does not have that maneuverability this time. He has to just stick to the BJP. See, I mean, the strike rate and then the vote percentage, everything is completely different this time. So the Mahagatbandhan, if you look at it, the number of seats that they have won, or the strike rate, or the vote percentages are all very, very shallow. So it does not add up for them to sort of, claim anything at all. So I think that is where we see a bit of a problem. Then the second thing, Barka, is the CPI ML and the entire left versus the Congress. So that is a complete decline of the Congress. See, and across India, the vote percentage of the communist parties is under 1% or 1.2% or something like that. But if a small faction of the communist party gets much more than a national party like the Congress, then it's a I mean, I would call it ideological chori, because in the last 5 years or 6 years, Rahul Gandhi has been trying to position the Congress party on the far left. And he has tried to steal the left agenda. He has tried to steal the Mandal agenda. He has tried to steal the federal agenda from the Tamil Nadu Dravidian party. So none of that has worked. None of that has worked because no work has happened on the ground. So this whole problem is of ideological chori does not work without any basis. I mean, there has to be some kind of a groundswell where you can apply it. So that is completely gone. And the third big point that I think I want to make, Barka, is this is officially a post-Mandal situation. See, if you look at the split of votes that has happened,
Yeah.
the Yadavs are split. The Muslims have split. If you look at areas of Bihar where the BJP and the JDU have made inroads, Yadav strongholds have been broken. And I think this is the first election which signals the end of the Mandal politics officially. I mean, it was on the decline.
It also may tell you something about the women voters. Look at we
Yes,
now
and I
have.
was coming to that. I was coming to
I
that point.
just if you want to pay attention to the number on your screen as you speak,
Yeah, yeah.
60% women turnout in 2020, 71.6% in 2025. Go ahead, Shagata. And
Yeah,
Madhavan, I'm coming to you right
and
after that. Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought in the women thing. It's precisely because of that gender flatness that was worked upon. It is through gender that Modi and the BJP and the right wing have completely, broken the caste kind of nexus that used to exist. It could be the extreme backward class or the OBC or the Muslim Yadav combinations. All of that. See, the moment 50% of the electorate is wooed in a certain way and they behave in a certain way, then no caste combination works. So I saw a video becoming viral, Barka, of a husband beating a wife because she voted for the BJP. Now this is something not unreal.
Yeah.
I really saw that video. So if I think that this is the beginning of the end of the Mandal game. Caste will be relevant. See, nobody should think that caste becomes irrelevant the moment the Mandal thing becomes, less significant. Caste and Mandal are very, very different. I want to make that point very, very clear. And then the last thing is also, see, the BJP, if people call a lot of things as propaganda and Godi media and all that, see, BJP, the best propaganda that they've done is that they have presented themselves as a victorious machine. After a point of time, the psyche of the people works in such a way that they want to be associated with a winner, not a whining person. Rahul Gandhi in the last 5 years has not put across a single positive line. See, democracy doesn't work like that. And over and above that, you don't understand cultural politics. And in a place like Bihar, cultural politics is everything. It could be a comment about the Chhat Puja or whatever. So one is ideological chori, two is post-Mandal, three is this kind of absence of understanding of cultural politics. And then JDU also gets locked now. JDU can't move anywhere because the numbers on the other side does not allow for an alternate government.
Okay, I think this is a very interesting idea that while this is so much Nitish's comeback moment, he's going to be vulnerable because of how well the BJP has performed. The BJP is now leading in 91 seats. Madhavan, I know you have a point. I'll allow Tavleen a quick interjection and come right to you after that. Tavleen.
Yeah, I just want to make the point. The women thing is astounding. The fact that it's gone up from 25 to 70. I don't remember. But
60 to 71%.
All right, but we need to, all of us, think about whether this last minute money that is distributed, as happened in Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, I know because I live in Maharashtra, that changed the election. Did that happen in Bihar? And does it not count to an electoral malpractice? We need to think about that.
Well, the opposition has made that allegation, Vinod ji. ये सवाल की जो 10,000 रुपया का welfare scheme था, उससे पूरा चुनाव बदला है. But Tavleen, I would wonder, I don't know if the whole election, could we just mute Vinod ji while I ask my question? Thank you. I'm just saying, Tavleen, to you, I've been asking this question as well. The opposition has made a big noise about it. But the turnout and the result, the gap, it just seems too gigantic for it to be a single issue. Tilt. Tavleen, do you agree?
But But Nitish has been wooing the women since he became chief minister. So, and this last minute thing, because, if you want to give them 10,000 rupees in their bank accounts, then do it 6 months before the election, but not just at the last minute. In Maharashtra, it changed. I saw it change. So, I really think that we need to think about whether this isn't a continuation of they used to give them liquor bottles and all that before. Huh?
So, Vinodji, I'll ask Vinodji to respond to this. Madhavan, do you want to add to that, or should I ask Vinodji to respond first?
देखिए, कई एक फैक्टर इसमें है. सबसे पहला तो हमारी पार्टी 6 महीना पहले से कार्यकर्ताओं का संयुक्त सम्मेलन, सभी हमारे जो पार्टी गठबंधन दल के साथी हैं, सबके साथ मिलकर जिला स्तर पर हमने सम्मेलन किया, कार्यकर्ता संवाद किया, आपस में एक दूसरे को बैठा करके रणनीति तय की, जो बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर साबित हुआ. सारे कार्यकर्ता काफी सक्रिय हो गए, सभी हमारे पांचों दल के, और उनने पूरी शक्ति लगा दी. कार्यकर्ताओं के बल पर इतनी बड़ी लड़ाई लड़े और जीते हैं. जनता का आशीर्वाद निश्चित रूप से जनता तक हमने जो काम किया वो ले जाने का काम किया. हमारे कार्यकर्ता ने पहुंचाया जनता तक कि हमने क्या किया है. नीतीश कुमार के नेतृत्व में आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने क्या क्या बिहार को दिया है, तो सारी बातों से लोग कन्विंस हुए, हमारे विकास पर वोट किया है. कोई केवल महिला, ठीक है, महिला बहनों का और माताओं का बहुत बड़ा आशीर्वाद रहा है, लेकिन सारी चीजों को, परिस्थितियों को उन लोगों ने समझा कि बिहार इनके नेतृत्व में आगे बढ़ेगा, मजबूत होगा, तब जाके इतनी बड़ी संख्या में लोग उतरे हैं. पहली बार बहुत लंबे समय के बाद इतने वोटर्स निकले हैं हमारे नीतीश कुमार जी और प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के विश्वास पर. और हमने करके दिखाया था, जो कार्यकर्ताओं ने ये बताने का प्रयास किया नीचे स्तर पर जाकर कि हमने किया. आज बिजली सरप्लस होती है. पहले गांव देहात में 1-2 घंटे बिजली आती थी, आज शहरों में भी 2-4 घंटे पटना में कट जाता था लालू जी के रिजीम में, राजद के रिजीम में. लेकिन अब वो ऐसी परिस्थिति नहीं है, बिजली कभी कटती ही नहीं है बिहार में. हमने बिजली मुफ्त देने का काम किया, 125 यूनिट, जो ये भी बहुत बड़ा अच्छा लगा. हमारे जो मतदाता है उनको लगा कि सरकार इतना हमारा ख्याल रखती है कि जो खास करके गरीब स्तर के जो लोग हैं, उपभोक्ता हैं, उनको और मदद मिली जो डेली कमाते खाते हैं। और बहुत स्तर पर हमने काम किया, महिलाओं के लिए, युवाओं के लिए किया है। हमने स्वास्थ्य योजना चलाया, 70 वर्ष से ऊपर के जो वृद्ध हैं उनको 5 लाख तक का इलाज प्रधानमंत्री जी ने पूरे देश में, उसका बिहार पर भी व्यापक असर पड़ता है। प्रधानमंत्री गृह योजना के तहत हमने करोड़ों लोगों को मकान दिया है, उसका भी असर पड़ा है। और बिहार की जनता जानती है कि इस शासनकाल जो एनडीए है, आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी और नीतीश कुमार जी की जोड़ी है बिहार में, बिहार को आगे ले जाएगा, बिहार में सुशासन देगा और खुशहाली लाएगा।
पर सर ये जो जोड़ी है, हाँ, मैं आपकी बात एक तरह से सहमत हूँ कि एक इश्यू नहीं हो सकता, बट येट माधवन, देयर इज अ पॉइंट दैट वी हैव सीन इट इन महाराष्ट्र, वी हैव सीन इट इन मध्य प्रदेश, and we are seeing it in Bihar. I'm not saying it's a single issue election. I'm not saying that the result would have been dramatically different, but had the women not been given money. But you know, the point is there are serious repercussions for political parties here. For the Congress, are these updated figures? I don't think these are updated figures. If somebody could confirm to me, I'm not sure they're updated figures. So let's have them. Shirali, I'll need you to confirm to me what these figures are. Madhavan, let's come in with your response. Madhavan, I can't hear Madhavan. Madhavan, I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Madhavan. You might be muted.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, is it better? Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I want to say something on each of these previous speakers, my fellow panelists. All of them made very good points. But let me begin in reverse order. Vinodji just said about development schemes, and I want to point out that the women were not wooed all of a sudden. There has been a tailwind to this, beginning with the bicycle scheme that Nitish Kumar had with women, and then Modi talking about Lakpati Didis and drone Didis. There has been a steady build-up of a BJP, NDA, JDU combination that has been assiduously and systematically wooing women, enough for people like Vinodji to be at the grassroots level, picking up the ball and running with it. Unlike Congress, who, as Shugata rightly pointed out, has been suddenly throwing ideological stuff without having a ground machinery. That is one thing. So let us not assume that. But there has been, Tavleen was right about some of the ethical issues about the election, but that is for the part of the election commission related controversy of suddenly announcing and going with the welfare schemes. No, on September 26th, the Mahila Mukhyamantri Mahila Yojana was launched, which is technically they always are on the same page.
Okay, can we ask Madhavan to reconnect? Can we ask Madhavan to I'm just not.
BJP.
Madhavan, please, thank you. I can't hear you. Shugata, I want to come back to you and to pick up what Tavleen said. You said that one of the things that is, emerging from this election is people don't like a whining politician, and you believe that the Congress is always playing the victim. And that the BJP, everybody likes a winner, and the BJP's great narrative is we are winners. And so therefore you feel they're going to win, so you keep voting for the winner. And I see the psychological play in that. But to Tavleen's point that the last minute welfare scheme, it seems to work, especially with the female voter. How would you respond to that?
No, that's a very valid point, Barkha. I mean, I don't disagree with it at all. Now, there are ethical issues involved, but this is not the first time it's doing it. It's not just the BJP that has done it. You come to my state of Karnataka. How did the Congress win 135 seats, which it did not even imagine it would win, with the 5 guarantees distributed universally to everybody? Cash transfers, free bus rides, pensions to, not pensions, doles, unemployment doles, all of that. So every political party has played that game of, wooing their electorate with certain schemes. And the BJP, I think Madhavan was right with that. It is not that it was done suddenly. There was a tailwind already, and this was an icing on the cake.
And by the way,
the
NDA has touched 200 seats. I was just flagging that. The NDA has crossed 200 seats in Bihar. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So, since NDA has crossed 200, the Paltu Ram does not think will never work now, because the Mahagathbandhan RJD's numbers are very, very small. So that is the earlier point that I was making about Nitish never being able to sort of do the somersault midway now. Anyway, so as Madhavan rightly said, it was not something that happened overnight. So they had everything running and they saw that there is this thing which may make a difference, because I think midway they realized both the MGB and Mahagathbandhan and NDA had almost an equal vote share, about 42% each. So how do you tilt the balance? So they tilted the balance by offering this. So whether they should have done it right before the election or whether it was a last minute thing, no, I don't think so. It was not a last minute thing. It was a consistent build up, and the BJP has sort of engaged the gender vote much more than any other political party, precisely because they want to break the caste nexus that had been created. That's precisely why I said that the Mandal politics seems to be over, because 50% of your electorate is sort of amenable to something else, some other kind of an argument and reason. So that is the most fascinating part of this election for me, because caste remains, the organizing factor will remain. You will not give up your caste identity, but the way you do politics with your caste changes from now on. And that is a big lesson that is going out, especially Bihar, because Bihar is the one where all the caste revolution started, and all the and even the oppositional elections started with Jai Prakash Narayan and all that. And you also know the kind of controversies that these people sort of created, the Congress people, by calling Rahul Gandhi Jananayak. Although of a very small number of people called him that, the BJP made it an issue, because Jananayak was something that was attributed to Karpuri Thakur, the great Karpuri Thakur. So you couldn't have made such blunders. And the other thing, Barkha, the last point that I want to make is, when Mamdani won the New York mayoral election, the entire liberal gangs were up in, euphoric dancing and saying aunties claiming him in Delhi and all that. But the problem is they did not ask the basic question. Mamdani came from outside of the Democratic Party. He was part of the Democratic Socialist Association. Shifted the agenda of the entire Democratic Party, took it far left, far more left than Bernie Sanders, and that is how he made an impact. Can something like that happen in the Congress Party today?
I think it's a great question, but unfortunately, the comments we've seen from the Congress, I'm just going to play out one. Madhavan, I'm hoping your connection is better after that. And Tavleen, just give me a second. Ashok Gehlot is commenting on these elections, and they are talking about the danger to democracy, quote unquote. Let's listen in and then come back and discuss the political implications for national politics.
देखिए, जीत हार की बात तो छोड़ दीजिए। अब तो बात कीजिए कि डेमोक्रेसी खतरे में है। जो हालात हरियाणा के बाद में महाराष्ट्र में बने हैं, महाराष्ट्र में जो बने थे ना, वही हालात यहाँ बने हैं। एक तरफा जीत सब पार्टियां साफ ही हो रही है, और जिस रूप में ये धनबल का प्रयोग करते हैं ना, आप हम कल्पना नहीं कर सकते हैं कितने उम्मीदवारों को पैसे देते हैं, कितने पैसे बांटते हैं। कल्पना के बाहर की बात है, कल्पना के बाहर की बात है। और जिस प्रकार चुनाव आयोग इनका साथ दे रहा है, मूक दर्शक है। वोट चोरी की बात जो की, वोट चोरी का मतलब क्या? वोट चोरी का मतलब खाली लिस्टों में गड़बड़ नहीं है। अगर आप निष्पक्ष चुनाव नहीं करवाते हो, वो भी वोट चोरी है। रिगिंग होती है, आप चुप रहते हो, वो वोट चोरी है। कहने का मतलब, जो अगर चुनाव निष्पक्ष करवाने में सक्षम नहीं है इलेक्शन कमीशन, वो वोट चोरी है। भाई, आप चुनाव आयोग का मतलब ही निष्पक्ष चुनाव हो, जीते हारे कोई भी हारे। उसकी बजाय अगर मान लो एक व्यवहार के अंदर भी एक पक्ष लोगे, आप एक सत्ता पक्ष का लोगे, तो वो भी वोट चोरी है। तो मेरी दृष्टि में वोट चोरी का मतलब, आप बेईमानी से चुनाव जितवा रहे हो किसी एक पार्टी को। नंबर एक, जो धनबल का प्रयोग के लोग कर रहे हैं, धनबल का, वो तो कमाल के कर रहे हैं। तो डेमोक्रेसी कैसे रहेगी? चुनाव आयोग के रवैया ये हो। सुप्रीम कोर्ट में एफआईआर चल रही है, आप सुप्रीम कोर्ट की बात नहीं मानोगे। आपने एफआईआर शुरू कर दी कई राज्यों में। अरे आप, एफआईआर कोई बुरा नहीं है, निष्पक्ष बन जाए। वोटर लिस्ट जो है वो सही बनना आवश्यक है डेमोक्रेसी के लिए। आप यही कहते हो भाई हम उसके लिए कर रहे हैं। तो फिर क्यों नहीं आप जो है तमाम पॉलिटिकल पार्टी बुलाते, बात करते, सुझाव लेते, तो वो खुद आपको कोऑपरेट करते। विश्वास जमा रहता है इलेक्शन कमीशन पर, आपने विश्वास को तोड़ दिया, उसको शक पैदा कर दिया, संदेह पैदा कर दिया। अच्छी बात है क्या? अब 10,000 रुपये बटे वहां पर 1,35,00,000 महिलाओं को 10 करोड़ रुपये 10,000 रुपये गए खाते में चुनाव चलते हुए। मुझे आश्चर्य हो रहा है इलेक्शन कमीशन को हो क्या गया है। दिन दहाड़े डाका होने वाली बात हो रही है, चुनाव के कैंपेन शुरू हो गया, चुनाव की पोलिंग हो रही है, उसके एक दिन पहले 2 दिन पहले तक भी आप पैसे बांट रहे हो, पेंशन दे रहे हो बुजुर्गों को, दिव्यांगों को और महिलाओं को, क्या कहते हैं, एकल नारी को, ठीक है। और सबसे बड़ी विधवाओं को भी। राजस्थान में क्या हुआ था, चुनाव शुरू होते ही सब पेंशन मिलना बंद। ये तो उदाहरण के सामने है, पूरा देश देखेगा, पूरे देश की जानकारी मिलेगी। राजस्थान में क्या, बाकी राज्यों में मुझे पता नहीं, राजस्थान के अंदर हमारे यहाँ पर जैसे ही चुनाव डिक्लेयर हुए, कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट लागू हुआ, हम मोबाइल बांट रहे थे 1,40,00,000 महिलाओं को। और स्कीम पहले की थी हमारी, बजट की घोषणा थी, तब भी उसने रोक दिया। 34 लाख हम बांट पाए। वहाँ क्या हो रहा है बिहार के अंदर, आप कहते हो तो पहले की घोषणा थी, घोषणा पहले की थी तो भाई चुनाव डिक्लेयर होते ही कम से कम रोक देते ना आप। अभी आपने अलो क्यों किया उनको? ये मेरा आरोप है इलेक्शन कमीशन पर कि जिस प्रकार का वो व्यवहार कर रहा है। नेता पति पर कोई बात कहते हैं तो वो जिस प्रकार जवाब देते हैं, हमें तो शर्म आती है कि इस देश के अंदर इतना बड़ा मुल्क है जिसकी डेमोक्रेसी तारीफ पूरी वर्ल्ड में होती है, वहाँ का इलेक्शन कमीशन इस प्रकार व्यवहार कर रहा है। बहुत दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है और कंडम करने लायक है।
Okay. Tavleen, any reactions? Meanwhile, before you react, Tejashwi Yadav is leading by a slender margin of 500 votes. He was trailing a few minutes ago, and the last time he won by 38,000 votes. The reason this is important is I do not believe a single welfare scheme can explain this. It is an anti, it's not just a pro-BJP, pro-Nitish vote, it is an anti-RJD vote. It is an anti-RJD vote. Can we unmute Tavleen, please? Okay, I'll do it. Tavleen, give me a second. I'm going to unmute you. Yeah, go ahead.
I did not say this was the only issue. What I do know is that in Maharashtra, there was no consistent viewing of the women voter until the last minute. And women said for the first time in their lives, they had money in their bank accounts and they would vote for the government, right? And what has happened is the Maharashtra government is broke. It can't pay its contractors because of this. And, I mean, it's a bit rich for Ashok Gehlot to be talking about how, democracy is in danger because Dhan Bal is using. They're the ones who laid down the grounds for all this. They've been doing it for years. So, welfare schemes should not be announced at the last minute. The other point I want to make is I'm old enough to know what Bihar was like under Lalu. And I think that the real issue, you're absolutely right, is a vote against that, because the Biharis I've talked to at the village level all say that they are worried that if Tejashwi comes, he's just going to bring Lalu back. And those horrible years, they were terrible, terrible years. Private armies. Let's remember where Bihar was before Nitish. There was a massacre of caste massacres. It was a horrible time. The only reason why anybody went to Bihar was because there was a new massacre under Lalu. It was terrible. And, they would the family would go into a shop if there was a wedding, close the doors and just steal jewelry and all that sort of thing. And I don't think people have forgotten that. So I'm not at all saying that women...
And I want to say both of Lalu Prasad Yadav's sons, Tej Prasad Yadav is trailing by 24,000 votes, and Tejashwi is fighting, literally hanging by a thread, leading by 500 votes in a seat where he won by 38, which could well be a defeat. He may scrape through, but
it's so humiliating.
Yes, absolutely.